Hello, and welcome back. Blue-eyed Raven, Rick, what's up, dude? Damn, that teal-looking wolf is looking badass next to your name. Hey, Snugs, what's up, Jamar? So yeah, tonight's gonna be pretty chill. Kind of like last Baldur's Gate 3 stream, where I was just testing out subclasses. There's 2 subclasses that I haven't tested out yet that I want to try right at the start of the stream. And then I think I just want to create a couple build ideas that I have. I'm thinking for patch 8 that I might run. I don't know if I want to do solo or not. It's like, on one hand I do, because it's a new challenge for me. But on the other hand, I don't want to run solo, because then I can't use all the new subclasses. I would only be using one character, of course, when patch 8 comes out. So I had an idea. I was thinking, I have 2 ideas here. One, I might run a Hexblade and a Shadow Sorcerer and do like a duo honor mode run when patch 8 releases. Or maybe I just do a party of 4. Every single character is just built for darkness. I think that would be really cool. I could have Hexblade, Shadow Sork, Gloomstalker, maybe the Shadow Monk. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that I don't know what I would have more fun doing, but we're gonna be thinking about stuff like that tonight. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to chill, that's what it's gonna be tonight. Just testing. I got my Google Docs ready. I'm gonna be taking notes on a few of the subclasses so I can start really trying to learn them, because I'll probably drop a few guides when patch 8 actually releases. And I figured I would do it live instead of doing it offline. So, hey Joe, Grim, what's up, man? Appreciate all the comments on the videos, Grim. Hey Joe, Cubix Cube. So anyways, let me just check my Twitch stream and make sure that we're good. Yes, we are. Checking out the 12 new. That's good enough for the name of the stream. You guys let me know if that background music is too loud or not. I just kind of have my subscription service where I get copyright-free music. I pay for it monthly. And I searched dreamy lo-fi. I feel like we don't have to listen to the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack for tonight, so. You will be able to hear the sound effects in the game, though. Ah, some hair in front of my face. I haven't heard anything about patch 8 having the lone wolf option. But I do have a feeling that Larian is going to surprise us. Yeah, you can still hear the spells. I do have a feeling that Larian is going to surprise us with perhaps a few new things outside of what we already know. Be pretty cool. So, all right, anyways, let's start off with a party of 2, and I'm going to just quickly test out. We're going to do just a little bit with the Drunken Master Monk, and then also the Bard. The 2 classes I didn't get around to.
Fate spins.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Sven.
As it should.
Hey, Cash. What's up?
Dost thou require a new ally? Or as
I have no idea what music's going to play. It's just this long playlist, so. I really wanted to play lo-fi Elder Scrolls music, but I think it's copyright. So I don't have permission, I don't think, to use those. I was thinking about just risking it and seeing what happened, but here we are. We're at the lo-fi. Yeah, I don't know when the patch is going to drop. I'm in the dark just like all of you guys. All right, so let's go with let's go with the Bard. This is actually really nice for me, even just going through the subclasses that I probably won't play. It's kind of giving me a reminder of all these classes and how they work. All right, Bard level 1, we don't get to choose our subclass, but we do get cantrips. I don't really know what would be best for the Drunken Master Monk. I have no idea. I don't really know this subclass at all. Let's just grab Dissonant Whispers, Tasha's Hideous, sure, Healing Word. We don't need Heroism. Maybe Thunderwave, sure. Don't really care about the starting instrument. Drunken Master Monk. Does anybody play 5th edition? Does anybody know? I could pull up my... Hold on, let me pull up my own video. Hey, Lado, thanks for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for the long-time support too, Lado. What's your favorite new subclass so far? Definitely the Hexblade, and after we get done with the Bard and the Drunken Master Monk, I'm going to be going back into the Hexblade. I want to try like a little bit of solo in the city and see how it works, and then combine it with the Shadow Sorcerer. Let me just look up something real fast if y'all don't mind. Y'all mind? Sign into TubeBuddy. WolfheartFPS. Let me go into my channel. Go to videos, and we're going to scroll back all the way to an old video that I made. Subclasses overview. In this video. Shut up, Wolfheart.
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh yeah?
I just switched from TurboTax
no.
to H&R Block.
We
It
have
was
ads
so
on this
easy.
one.
You mean I don't have...
In this video, I'm going to be going over the... Let me pause the music for a second. Oh, WolfheartFPS. You guys ever watched this channel before? He's not bad. He's not the greatest, but he's not bad. All right, so we have the College of Glamour Bard. Let me look at the Drunken Monk right now since I chose Monk, and let's just get a quick little 5th edition preview here. Drunken Master Monk. Here we go. I'm assuming you guys can see that, can't you? You should be able to. Holy yellow donations. Yeti, thanks for the $10 super sticker. And Akash, thank you for the $9.99. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. You just won on your taxes, Rick? What does that mean? Does that mean that you're hiding things from the government? And moving on to a fan favorite in D&D 5e, the Drunken Master subclass for the Monk, which can be found in Xanathar's Guide to Everything and is described as: the way of the Drunken Master teaches its students to move with the jerky, unpredictable movements of a drunkard. A Drunken Master sways, tottering on unsteady feet, to present what seems like an incompetent combatant who proves frustrating to engage. The Drunken Master's erratic stumbles conceal a carefully executed dance of blocks, parries, advances, attacks, and retreats. Okay. The Drunken Master often enjoys playing the fool to bring gladness to the despondent or to demonstrate humility to the arrogant. But when battle is joined, the Drunken Master can be a maddening, masterful foe. In Larian's community update, they start off by stating that this subclass puts the brew in homebrew. So this may be very different from the 5e version, although the general lore description that I just gave is probably pretty accurate. Larian describes the Drunken Master as a subclass that has the ability to consume alcohol straight from your inventory, as well as drink from bottles that you see around the Sword Coast in order to recover ki. By sharing the bottles with your enemies using Intoxicating Strike, you'll generate a buff towards your armor class and your chance to hit drunk targets. Drunk enemies are also susceptible to the Drunken Master's other abilities like Sobering Realization, which sobers up drunk targets, dealing physical and psychic damage. Interesting. This subclass seems to be heavily based on not just you being drunk, but also making your opponents drunk through that feature called Intoxicating Strike. And how exactly that attack will work, we'll have to wait and see, but it seems like this subclass may require the limited but abundant resource of drinks that have alcohol in them. This subclass recovers ki by drinking, and ki is used to power several of the general monk class features, such as Flurry of Blows. And speaking of Flurry of Blows, in 5e at level 3, drunken monks get Drunken Technique, which makes it so that their Flurry of Blows gets the disengage action, and their move distance increases by 10 feet. Not sure if it'll be like that in Baldur's Gate 3, but it seems like an easy implementation. At level 6 in 5e, drunk monks, when they're drunk, get up from being knocked prone at the cost of less movement speed, and when creatures miss melee attacks on them, they can spend a ki point as a reaction to hit one other creature of their choice. So you're not hitting the one that missed their attack on you, you're just swinging at somebody else, which kind of simulates a drunk person swinging around. And at level 11 in 5e, drunk monks get Drunkard's Luck, which allows them to spend ki to overcome having disadvantage on an ability check, attack roll, or save. Of course, take all of that 5e. All right, let's build our Drunken Monk right now really quickly. I guess I'm just going to go with Dexterity. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It's fine. And keep in mind, everyone, tonight, like, I'm not worried about gear. I'm not worried about what armor I'm wearing. We're just trying to mess with the new subclass abilities a little bit. And I'm not worried if I have an odd number on an ability point. We're just trying to get in and mess with things, okay? So save me the comments. Appreciate the donate. Is that Odessa? Hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. What's up, RS? Man, I play Baldur's Gate and I just see all these returning names. It makes me so happy. All right, so we're gonna do Oh, I'm playing the Bard right now. Silly me. Go to Monk. Let's go to abilities. Let's dexterity and wisdom. This is probably fine. I mean, having one odd number is obviously not good, but I don't really care right now. Perfect. Let's go ahead and level up. So we get additional key point, unarmored movement. Movement speed increased by 10 while you're not wearing armor. Man, it's been a while since I played a monk. Monks are so good in this game, though. Patient defense. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity saving throws. Step of the wind dash. All right. Monk level 3, and here is the new subclass, the Way of the Drunken Master. With the unpredictable lurches of a tippler, you hiccup your way through battle, frustrating foes with carefully executed movements concealed beneath a facade of incompetence. All right, we get Cheeky Tipple. You are immune to the negative effects of being drunk. Once per day, when you drink alcohol, you regain half your key points. So once per long rest, or once per day. Rounded down. And then we get Drunken Performance. You gain proficiency in performance, all right. And then Drunken Technique. Requires a key point and a bonus action. Punch twice in quick succession, and grant yourself an additional 10 feet movement and the benefits of disengage. All right, before we level up to the next level. Congratulations, Odessa. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you. Finishing your degree. It's a huge accomplishment. Good for you. Now you're on to bigger and better things, and you're going to make us all proud, Odessa. All right, so we have clothing on right now, which is actually fine for this build. I'm going to take off the weapon. I'm going to take off that too. Take that off as well. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. So we have... It's getting a little monk reminder here. Here's my key points. We have our Drunken Technique. Let me see if I have any alcohol. I don't think I do. We could just go ahead and stop by one of the taverns and buy a bunch of alcoholic drinks. Maybe I have some in my... I forget what the alcohol looks like. Maybe I have some in my chest. Probably not. All right, after I level up, we're going to go stop by one of the taverns. All right. Level 4. We get additional key point and slow fall. These are just regular monk features. Intoxicating Strike. Hit a creature with your bare fists and possibly get them drunk. Has disadvantage on dexterity and charisma checks. So, okay. That could be pretty good. I mean, not that great, but at the same time, if you can... Disadvantage on dexterity checks means that, like, if you have a wizard in your group and you're casting fireball, like, it's more likely that those opponents are going to fail their save and take full damage from spells like that. Both of these are intoxicating strikes. What's the difference here? One is a bonus action key, melee. Hold on. What the hell is the difference here? These are the exact same thing. I am confused. I did notice a few bugs when we were playing last time too, so there might be still some mess ups here. I'm not seeing a single difference between either of these right now. Oh wait, no, no, I don't see a difference. All right, for a feat, let's just do ability improvement, dexterity, that's fine. Cavern Brawler might be good with this. Additional key point, extra attack at level 5, then we get Stunning Strike melee, Stunning Strike unarmed, so just regular monk stuff. Level 6 subclass features. Here we go. So the regular features: key empowered strikes. Your outnumbered tanks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming enemies. And then for the drunken monk, we have leap to your feet. One of those was an action. One was a bonus. I didn't notice that. When you're prone, standing up uses only 5 feet of your movement speed. Okay. And then redirect attack. When a creature misses you, with a melee attack, you can spend 1 key point as a reaction to use unarmed strike back at them. Alright, now we're getting evasion and stillness of mind. If you're charmed or frightened, you automatically cast stillness of mind to remove the condition. It's not new, right? I don't think it's new. And then subclass features Life of the Party. Well, that's thematic. Every time Intoxicating Strike hits, the monk gains Life of the Party, which increases armor class and attack rolls against drunk targets. Aha. So that's the point of making the opponents drunk, even more so than getting disadvantage on dexterity checks. This effect can stack. Every time Intoxicating Strike hits, the monk gains Life of the Party, increase to AC and attack rolls against drunk targets. Level 8. We'll just do... Class features additional key, advanced unarmed movement. An action here called Sobering Realization. Hit a drunk target and sober them up by dealing bonus psychic damage. On a successful hit, the monk also loses Life of the Party. So if you want to deal a little bit more damage, you can do the Sobering Realization attack to get the extra damage, but at the same time, they lose their drunken status effect. Probably a really good finisher move. Alright, and then we have Purity of Body. You're immune to poison damage and can't be poisoned or affected by disease. Yep, we already know that. Additional key point. I think we get one more feature. Here it is. Drunkard's Luck. When you make an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and have disadvantage on the roll, you can spend 2 key points to negate the disadvantage for that roll. That's kind of cool. It can be used utility for ability checks. Spend 2 key points to negate the disadvantage for that roll. Okay. I think that could be useful. And then level 12. We're gonna take alert, just so I get first strike. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. We're gonna go head out to one of the taverns here. I have 13 key points. Let's go to... It's my favorite tavern to buy alcoholic drinks. Who do we want to give business to? I mean, I could just go downstairs here. Right.
Still alive. So that's
I think I like the place on Worms Crossing Bridge, though. Let's go there. Yo, Eli, what's up? Let's get drunk. I did do a drunken build on the channel a while back. If any of you guys want to know like where the drunken items are in this game, it'd be cool if Larian added some more drunken items with the addition of this subclass.
What path lies before me?
Oh no, this isn't where I wanted to go. Whatever, I'm close enough. We can get there. I need a little reminder of the layout of the maps here. I'm not sure what we're gonna get in that regards, Thiago, but hopefully we find out sometime soon. Hey Ian, you didn't miss anything. Got a level 12 drunken monk right now. Oh no, I went the wrong way. What is the... Here, that's what I wanted to go to. The reason why I like this bar is, well, I mean, there's a couple reasons why I like this bar. Oh shit! What happened? Okay, I don't know what part I'm at in the game right now. On this save point. Apparently people don't like me though. All right, we're facing off against Fist Gainemir. Let's see what we should start off with here. So we have Drunken Technique, Step of the Wind. Definitely want to use as many of the drunken abilities as possible just so we can see what they're like. So let me take that and put it right here. Intoxicating Strike, and then Intoxicating Strike. Oh yeah, one is an action and one is a bonus action. Huh. Thanks for noticing that. Sobering Realization is new. Stunning Strike unarmed. Okay, and those are old. Is Patient Defense old? No. Alright. Let's go punch this guy. So we can do Drunken Technique, punch twice in quick succession, and grant yourself an additional 10 feet of movement speed and the benefits of disengage, and that's a bonus action. And I'm assuming we can get the creature drunk here without actually having any alcohol in our inventory. So here goes Intoxicating Strike. Hit a creature with your bare fists and possibly get them drunk for an action. Oh no, they're both bonus actions actually, and they both require key points. That one's the bonus and that one's the action. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the bonus action. No, the action. Look at him right now. Whoa, that's a hell of a drunken punch right there. We're gonna not do that. That is so funny. Has disadvantage on dexterity and charisma checks, which isn't the good part. The good part is that we can now use our other abilities that work off of fighting a drunk opponent. So what was that? What was that other attack that I have? It's Sobering Realization. I thought there was another one. Oh yeah, where is that fist? Here it is, right here. Nope, Unarmed Strike. What was that one? Drunkard's Luck. When you make an ability check, attack, roll, saving throw. Okay, so that's a reaction. Redirect, Charm, Luck of the Realms. Where was that Life of the Party skill? I have Sobering Realization. Must have misunderstood that one. Stunning Strike, Melee, Stunning Strike, Drunken Technique. Sobering Realization. What was Life of the Party? I have some good stuff from being in a Lithid right now. Midori, what's going on? Drunken Master VG3, Life of the Party. Let me make that chat a little bit smaller. Life of the Party is a passive feature that grants bonus against drunk targets. Every time Intoxicating Strike hits, the monk gains Life of the Party. Okay, which increases armor class and attack rolls. So we want to do another Intoxicating Strike to get that to activate. Drunken Master is so much fun. You play it in patch 8, Joe, or in 5e? All right, so let's go ahead and do, because I don't have it active. Oh, I do. It's active right now. So I have a +1 to armor class, and then I'm also more likely to land attacks as we have that boost to attack rolls, only against drunk targets. For each Intoxicating Strike. So let's go ahead and do another Life of the Party. 23 AC right now. So I'm going to do an Intoxicating Strike with extra attack. And he saved, but now we have Life of the Party with 2 turns remaining. My AC went up by 1. And I should have a boost to my attack rolls too. Alright, and then let's go ahead and do an Intoxicating Strike again as a bonus action. And now I have Life of the Party for 3 turns. I have a 25 AC. This is crazy. I wonder if it's not supposed to stack like that. Holy crap. And I believe my attack rolls are probably up by a +3 right now, which is pretty significant. All right, let's go ahead and end turn. Life of the Party is gone. Does it go away when you get hit? I don't know. This condition ends if the monk is attacked or combat ends. Okay, aha. So that's why it's not OP. So So what I should have done is tried to run away or something, because I believe I had disengage too. That was a benefit of one of those skills. Yeah, it does stack, yeah. Both play Drunken Master Halfling in a Waterdeep campaign. That's awesome. Alright. We're not going to charm. Alright, now I'm going to try... This guy's not drunk, so Sobering Realization... What would that do if he's not... Oh, as he's still drunk? He's slightly drunk right now. Just drunk enough for everyone to notice. Strength increased by 2, disadvantage on charisma and dexterity checks. So let's give him... That's an action and a key point. So I'm going to go ahead and use a bonus action, Intoxicating Strike. Let me just take this off. If you guys are wondering why I'm not using this or that, it's because we're not trying to be OP. We're just trying to test things out. That'll kill the guy way too fast. Uh-oh. My stream's still running? I think it's still running. All right. Now our target is still only slightly drunk. And I have life of the party. All right, I'm going to try Sobering Realization. Hit a drunk target and sober them up by dealing bonus psychic damage. On a successful hit, you lose your life of the party. Invalid target, because he's not drunk. Okay. I guess I have to do Intoxicating Strike again. Now he's drunk. And now I believe... Could do Stunning Strike as an extra here. I'm wondering, so Drunken Technique, punch twice in quick succession and grant yourself an additional 10 feet, and the benefits of disengage. Can move without provoking opportunity attacks. So I should have done a Drunken Technique right there. Because we're probably going to get hit here, and I'm going to lose life of the party again. I do have another attack here, but I'm not trying to kill the guy this fast. Okay, well, let's use another one. Why not? He's drunk for 5 turns now. He's probably going to punch me unless I'm able to dodge it. Oh, nope. Life of the party just goes away simply when you're attacked. So it's probably... I'm thinking for the subclass, like, it's probably going to be like a dash in, dash out type of subclass. I do have my redirect attack here. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, spend 1 key point as a reaction to use the unarmed strike. I'm going to not use that. Alright, let's see if we can get the Sobering Realization going. And he is drunk right now, so now I'm able to use Sobering Realization, and this should deal extra psychic damage. And it costs an action and a key point. His drunk status is gone, but we got that extra 9 psychic damage. And it does let you use it again. Oh no, it doesn't let you use it again. He does have to be drunk. Okay. Alright. Okay, he's dead. Oh no, my YouTube chat's gone. Hold on. Come back. Something went wrong. Hold on 1 second, guys. Stream's still running, right? Huh, it won't let me see my own YouTube chat. Let me go to YouTube and act like I'm a viewer. So far, the subclass is pretty cool. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of basic. So far, the subclass is... Well, that's a really bad way to see the chat. I can hardly see anything. Can you guys type a few things in the chat real fast? Just spam a couple things. I think I can see it now. It's not ideal, though.
Was that human boy insisting on playing his acoustic lute version of High House of One?
Hey, Octavia. Okay, I can see half the chat. That's good enough.
I don't understand why there's such a time for so many.
All right, our first target is dead with the Drunken Master. Let me go ahead and talk to our buddy Hoots here and buy some alcohol.
New guy.
What the hell is going on? I can't talk to Hoots Hooligan.
I scanned a few customers today. This might end up being the first day in years I end
The game's just broken right now. Oh, we're gonna take that. I think there's really like there's no reason really.
That'll be.
Do you think we've done something wrong?
All right, so we got Cheeky Tipple. You're immune to the negative effects of being drunk, so we can just drink alcohol. Once per day when you drink alcohol, you regain half your key points rounded down. So let me go ahead, let's go ahead and drink that and see if that actually works. What happened to the alcohol? It's not latest. Okay, I feel like the game's bugged out right now. God, I hate trying to find things. Empty potion bottle. I don't know what it was called. Maybe I can go to a different shop and we can buy a bunch of alcohol. I don't know why it's not working here. Let's go to the Elf Song Tavern. Sure, why not? Hey, Keith. Yeah, I'm liking a lot of them. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I found my love for the Hexblade. And after I finish the Drunken Master here, I have one more to check out. We're going to be checking out the Bard really quickly. And then I'm going to go back to my Hexblade and try to... I'm thinking for patch 8, for those of you guys that are just showing up right now, when patch 8 goes live, I'm thinking about maybe doing a duo honor mode run with a Hexblade Warlock and a Shadow Sorcerer. I feel like it'd be a really cool combo. And it would also be really challenging because, of course... Hey, is this stout right here? Because duo honor mode, I haven't done that before. So yeah, having a good time so far. Definitely had a lot of fun the other session where we tested out 10 of them. I keep thinking about Hexblade and like there's so many multi-class possibilities too. You got your Hexadin. It works great with Sorcerer, of course, you know, Paladin, which is the Hexadin. Maybe a Swords Bard or something like that. There's a lot of possibilities. Let's see if I can actually talk to NPC. Why can't I talk to any of the NPCs? I'm completely bugged out. All right, let's do a save. Drunken, we're gonna call it. And I'm gonna quit the game. And we're gonna come back into it. Yeah, it's really strong in this game too. Yeah, dropping darkness down. Oh god, it's so good. I want to try Hexblade with the Great Weapon Master feat. I have all these ideas in my head. I don't know if they're going to work, but... What's new in patch 8? Well, the big thing is the 12 new subclasses. Anything else outside of that? There's a couple other things. Crossplay is coming. And then whatever else Larian says, they're probably... I'm assuming we're going to get a full patch notes when it drops, and hoping there's going to be a few new things in there, so... Nope, this is the playtest right now. Drunken. Yeah, it was super powerful. Casting darkness with the Sork and then having the Sorcerer and the Hexblade both stand in the darkness. I think it'd be really cool for a duo honor mode run. Because I'll have the capabilities of ranged with both, because the Eldritch Blast is still really good for the Hexblade. And then, of course, the sorcerer can be really good at ranged. My Hexblade will be my melee character. I feel like we could make some magic happen.
How much farther can I go?
I can't talk to NPCs. All right. Guess we're just gonna loot every shelf.
Keep your
Oh
hand.
God, I can talk to him. Larian, I'm just trying to test out the damn drunken master. There we go. Frost Kiss Ale. There we go. We got Ithbank over here. Make sure it's showing up in my inventory. Why? What is wrong with this game right now? Alright, we can find it though. It's right here. Patch 8 this buggy for everybody? I think 2 is going to be fine. Let's see if we just close this door right here real fast. Nothing else here. How's the back doing, Keith, by the way? Okay, so let's go ahead and see if I can get some key points back by drinking the frost. This is also a monk feature. So here we go. Consume. And now I have 11 key points. I went from 5 to 11. That's pretty powerful. Do key points regenerate on a short or long rest? That's really powerful. That's awesome. So you just want to gather all your alcohol for your drunken master and make sure to save it and keep some in your inventory so you can keep getting your key points back. They recharge on a short rest. I wonder... Okay, you only get to do that once per day, it says. So I'm assuming that's once per long rest. So it's basically like having like a half powerful short rest, an extra one for the monk. All right, so one more thing. Let's just see here. Trying to see what other benefits you get from being drunk. From what your character gets from being drunk. You're immune to negative effects of being drunk. You gain proficiency in performance. Punch twice in quick succession. Hit a creature with your bare fists and possibly get them drunk when you're prone, standing up. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can spend ki as a reaction. We do have Leap 2, Life of the Party. Hit a drunk target and sober them up by dealing psychic damage. I thought I read something that gave the drunken master some more power by being drunk themselves, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. I think the only point of drinking, I mean, you're immune to the negative effects of being drunk. You can't... Can you even get drunk? I don't even know if you can. Maybe the only point of drinking is to get the key points back with this class. Pack's doing terrific. Good to hear, Keith.
Never
All right, I think I'm pretty much good. We tested out mostly everything here. I could just get into a bar fight real fast and we could do this again. Let's go ahead and punch. I'll punch the flaming fist outside, and it's okay if I TPK. How do you get out of here? Who can I punch in this place? There's a lot of punchable faces that I'm looking at around here. I want somebody that's actually going to fight back, though. I don't see any flaming fist around here. Let's go to Deepside Strand. I know just the person to punch in the face. All right. Okay, let's do intoxicating strike as an action. That's going to make the creature drunk.
You're violent.
I have alert, so we get to go first. Not drunk because he passed the save here. So let's do another. Let's do intoxicating strike again with our action. All right, this guy is now drunk. We have life of the party ×2. Our AC is up 1. We're getting higher attack rolls. And then because we want to keep life of the party active, instead of using unarmed strike, let's go ahead and use Drunken technique. So we're going to punch twice in succession and grant yourself additional 10 feet of movement and the benefits of disengage. So now I should be able to move without taking an opportunity attack, which might actually get me far enough away so I don't get hit. And I can survive with life of the party for another round. So let's come all the way over here. Yep, no opportunity attack. Just kind of play this class like a dip in and out type of class. These guys are screaming. Hopefully nobody can hit me. No! Alright, I lost life of the party. There's got to be a better way to hold on to life of the party. I think it would be much more useful when you have a party of 4, of course. And you can actually hide without having every single opponent come at you. I was hoping that I would hold it right there, because that's a really big boost. But technically, it's only going to help. I don't know. Does it go away when you land an attack? I don't know. Half orc with bad hair. All right, so this guy's still drunk right now, so I could do Sobering Realization to get that extra damage. Don't forget, I have all these other, you know, monk attacks that are the regular monk features. I'm just focusing solely on these subclass features right now. Well, let's see. 59 HP. I wonder if I can... want to really build up my luck. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna do another intoxicating strike. Damn, we're missing everything. Does that put his drunken status back? Let's see. He's not drunk at all right now. So we don't have, I have 1 round of life of the party. So let me use Drunken technique again. This would not be a bad time to, like, let's see, double your movement speed. Jump no longer requires a bonus action. So actually, a good strategy might be to get the creature drunk. You build up your life of the party a little bit. These are both bonus actions. I don't know what a good strategy would be. Let's go ahead and do intoxicating again. This creature is just not drunk. Does it not work? Oh, did I do drunken technique? I'm not sure which one I did. Yeah, I did drunken technique. That's why. Okay. And now I can move without taking a reaction. But I don't think there's going to be anywhere that I can go where I don't get hit. So I'll just have to find a good strategy for avoiding being targeted with the monk. So you can hang on to that life of the party for a longer period of time. Drunk Monk wasn't that great in 5e. It was mostly for RP fun. Okay, alright. I can kind of see that with this too. I mean, I think it's probably going to be decently powerful. Good enough, especially with a party, but... After I kill one more guy, we're going to go back to... Wow, it's really hard to get out of range here. This is a regular monk feature. Nice, I love that for the monk. It's so cool to redirect a projectile. And I don't believe I can drink alcohol again and get stuff back because it's only once per long rest. So if we go ahead and drink that, I don't think it's going to do anything. I have 4 key points right now. Let's drink it. Yeah, I didn't get any more key points back. So that's only once per long rest that you can do that. My character is now drunk. Okay, so hold on. There is a point in being drunk. We are immune to the negative effects of alcohol thanks to your training in the way of the drunken master. Did we not get any of the positive benefits from being drunk, like the strength increase? All right. Both of these are actions, unfortunately. These guys are, you know, passing all the drunk checks too. That could be a problem with this class. Can't get this guy drunk.
Well, it's
All right, I have life of the party 2. I might actually be able to hang on to it for a round now because I get to go around a corner. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, I think this is going to be like the cool thing with the drunken monk is just trying to build. No, don't attack me. Yes. All right, this is my first time I still have life of the party, so we're going into this this next round of combat with life of the party still active, which means I have a +2 to AC, which this can get really good probably. If I had even higher AC, add like a 2-3 on top of this. It's crazy. And I also should have an increased attack rolls by 2 as well. So let's see if we can kick this guy's ass real fast. Let's do... That's an action. So let's do bonus action, intoxicating strike. This guy's drunk now. Our life of the party is at 3 now. Let me check my combat log. I'm not seeing anything being added to the... I don't see anything added to my attack roll. I should be getting... a +1 to attack rolls against drunk targets. Unless that was just because he wasn't drunk yet. Okay, maybe that's why. So let's go ahead and try another attack. I'm just gonna do a regular attack. I got a 6. Aha, there it is. All right, so now you guys can see. I don't know if you can see actually. I think the chat's in the way. My attack roll is 15 +4 from proficiency, +3 from life of the party, +5 from the dexterity modifier. I think I still missed. That's pretty crazy. All right. Let's just go ahead and put this guy down. Actually, I think I'm pretty much done with the monk right now. Just wanted a little preview. Let me just check that real fast. Yep, I'm getting the +3 from life of the party. So, all right. Man, my YouTube chat went away again. I don't know what's up with that. So let's go ahead and load back in, and we're going to try the bard now. And then back into the good stuff, my Hexblade. Utopian, what's up? Thanks for stopping in. I don't know what's up with YouTube tonight. Is the stream running and sounding good to you guys or what? For some reason I can't hold it. Like my chat just keeps going away on me. Drunk debuff gives them disadvantage on dexterity and charisma checks. So dexterity checks could actually prove kind of useful. I think there's a couple charisma spells too. So if you get a creature drunk with intoxicating strikes, and then you have like a wizard, you could actually get like 3 people drunk. You could, if you're like on the front lines, punch one with it, punch another, and then use your bonus action to get another. You could have a wizard cast fireball right after, and pretty much all of them are probably going to fail, and you'll deal max damage with the fireball.
If not over.
All right, Drunken Master was more fun than I thought it was going to be, but still not even close to being my favorite. So let's go ahead and get Bard over with.
Dost thou require a new...
All right, Bard, here we go. Don't really care about our cantrips. The spells are a little bit more important for the Bard because you don't have prepared spells. But I don't think it's a big deal right now. And abilities, I don't know much about this subclass off the top of my head. I don't really remember. So we'll just go with this, whatever, that's fine. Let's go hard on the Bard. I'm not sure if there's going to be drunk specific dialogue, maybe. All right, level 2. We still don't get to choose our subclass. I'm just gonna pick up. Sure, we'll pick up Thunderwave. And here we go. We'll pick up. Doesn't really matter. Let's grab hold person. You mastered your craft under the tutelage of fey creatures who captivating magic swirls you, ready to be released. I got invited to a D&D party in 2 weeks' time. I told them I've only played BG3, kind of nervous. Hey, if you got a good group, should be nothing to be nervous about. And if people make you feel like you don't belong or they get frustrated with you learning, I wouldn't be playing with those people anyway, so. All right. One more time. You mastered your craft under the tutelage of fey creatures whose captivating magic swirls within you, ready to be released. Mantle of Inspiration. Imbue 2 allies with your vigor and grant them 5 temp hit points. If they're hit with a melee attack, the attacker becomes charmed. It seems like it's actually pretty good. And it's a bonus action in Bardic Inspiration. Bard level 4. Bard level 5. I think level 6 is when we get the new subclass feature. Here it is. Will this take... Sure, whatever. Alright, we get Counter Charm. You and any allies within 30 feet have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. Visibility, and then our special subclass action here is Mantle of Majesty Command. Command a creature to flee, move closer, freeze, drop to the ground, or drop its weapon at the cost of just a bonus action. We're going to do the Bard quick, because I don't think I really care about this one, to be honest with you. Sure, why not? Yeah, that looks good. We get Magical Secrets. That's just a Bard thing, where you can pick spells from other people's spell list. Powerful Bard feature, though, that's for sure. Got Fairy Fire. I got True Strike right now. I could switch that. Improve Bardic Inspiration. That's really it. That's like the main thing here. Mantle of Inspiration, which I have right here. Let's go ahead and set that up on the bar. Unlock this bad boy. Our Mantle of Inspiration got more powerful at level 6. And level 10, it gets even more powerful. And you can cast it on more targets. So that's really... There's really not much going on here. It's just like a slight difference with what the Bard focuses on here. And it's all about temp hit points and Mantle of Majesty Command. So if we come over here, so we have Mantle of Inspiration. I have 5 right now. Imbue 4 allies with your vigor and grant them 11 temp hit points. It's actually pretty powerful. If they're hit with a melee attack, the attacker becomes charmed. So that does seem like it's pretty good, actually. Let's take Astarion with me.
Still alive.
And we'll just quickly
that's
teleport. Let's go to... Yeah, there. Hey, Jackie. Thanks for the tier 1 sub renewal. Which classes have you tested so far? If you go on my YouTube channel, under the live tab, the previous stream, I tested out 10 of the other subclasses. So this is the only one that I haven't tested out so far. And right after this is done, I'm just going to start building into a couple build ideas and trying to learn the Hexblade a little bit better.
With haste.
I may not weep for my home, but I would take a mushroom.
All right, who can we fight? Here we go. All right. Oh, my whole party's with me. Oh, the whole party. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... Everybody's screaming. That's Astarion. Let's go to my Bard.
But keep going.
And we're going to start off with... Let me check my reactions too. Let's get rid of that. I don't need my own charm. They're both bonus actions. Okay, so let's start off with Mantle of Inspiration. We can do 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Ooh, nice Larian. That looked pretty cool. Now I have Mantle of Inspiration active on all the characters here. Imbued with Bardic Vigor and granted 11 temp HP. If hit with a melee attack, the attacker becomes charmed. You can see the 11 temp HP right at the bottom right there. All right. And then I would still have my action to do any bard thing that I want to do. So this is kind of cool because you could... I mean, obviously the swords bard is going to be the offensive one, but you could play this any way that you wanted. You could be more offensive or be more of support if you wanted to. But let's go ahead and just get him out of the way, and let's move Astarion in here. I want to try to get him hit. We want to see if we get that charm effect, and then we're done with the bard. Okay, so it's a reaction for the charm. The only thing that sucks about that is if there's a saving throw for the charm every time, they miss. Charm misses like all the time. I don't know if I like that. If it was like a guaranteed charm, or like you had a boost to your spell save DC or something against that. Because charm is so annoying. It's like, you guys know the, like, when you get it from the Illithid tadpole thing, it pops up all the time. I just turn it off sometimes. It's just so annoying because it only lands like 30% of the time. All right, skip. Let's bring Shadow up here. Skip, skip. Back to my bard. Now we have Mantle. I didn't know we were going to turn it up tonight. Let's go, baby. This doesn't fit the theme of dreamy lo-fi music. What the hell's going on here? Where did this song come from? Let's see if we got some fantasy. Dreamy fantasy. I'm gonna search. I don't need you guys going to bed though. Ooh. Rick says I always go College of Lore so I can get Spirit Guardians and Fireball, two of my favorite spells in the game. Spirit Guardians is so good. Okay, thanks, Awaken. Stopped using the Illithid Charm a long time ago. Yeah, it's just annoying, right? I mean, it can be useful if you're trying to optimize every single thing, and you can get a charm off here and there and it will help you, but it's more annoying than it's actually good, so. The only ability worse than Sacred Flame. I don't know if you noticed, Keith, but Toll the Dead is now like an official cantrip for all clerics, so it's going to be nice for people like you to have a better offensive type cantrip. Okay, this is the last one we got to check out here, Mantle of Majesty Command, and we can choose Command Halt, Approach, Drop, or Grovel. So let's just try... Let's try drop. He doesn't even have a weapon, so that would be stupid. Let's do approach. Actually, let's do approach, but try to set up an opportunity attack. So let's take Astarion and move him up against this guy. And then go back to
Nothing important
my
is
guy.
ever easy.
And we're going to do command approach. Okay, he should approach on his turn, so he doesn't just approach immediately. Affected entity has to move towards the spellcaster using the shortest route possible and can't take any other actions. So let's just end. Oh, I didn't get the opportunity attack. I wonder why. Maybe I already... Oh, you know why? Because I used my reaction on Charm with Astarion. That's why. Alright, let's go back, and I want to try that one more time. Oh, it's still active. Okay, how long is it going to be active for? Oh, it's not still active. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take the opportunity attack.
With haste.
We're going to move over here. We're going to do approach. And we're going to put Shadowheart right here. Astarion right here.
On
And
your
Minty.
command.
Minty right here, I guess.
Got to focus.
Here we go. All right, I got one opportunity. I'm not sure why Astarion didn't get one. Critical miss. Hey, look at this. That could be a pretty powerful use of this. I mean, of course, we already have the command spell in the game, but this guy could have potentially taken hits from 3 characters on his route to try to get to me. All right. Okay. College of Glamour Bard. Yeah, I guess it's all right. I don't know. One of the more boring ones, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and go back to my... I want to build a Hexblade now. We're going to go to my Let's Play character. My strength-based ranger, who isn't really too good. Oh yeah, maybe Astarion's was turned off, Keith. Good thinking. Maybe I clicked on it or something. Oh, he had his ranged weapons out. Thank you guys. You guys have to touch me up on my BG3 knowledge. Good thinking. Okay.
Shouldn't have wished
All
to
right,
live in
here
more
is
interesting
Wolfheart.
times.
So we're going to turn Wolfheart into a Hexblade Paladin with a 2-handed sword. And the point of doing this right now isn't necessarily to craft like a really good build. More so I just want to try a few things, and also just I'm kind of like studying a little bit how these skills work and trying them in different situations so I can make a few videos when patch 8 comes out and actually know what I'm talking about. Let's go find Withers.
Fate, dost thou require as
And here we go. My favorite subclass. Warlock. So, let's see here. What races would be really good for the Hexblade? Let's go back to the main menu. I'm going to pull out my Google Docs now. It's around here somewhere. Races. Ability scores. So obviously for ability scores, charisma first and foremost over any other skill, and then probably con. In dex at least 14 for the AC boost. Can probably potentially dump strength. Potentially dump int. And then wisdom would probably be the 4th most important. I'm also thinking in my head for my solo runs or whatever I'm going to do. Like, I'm thinking it's really important when you play solo or in a party of 2 to not be affected by CC spells, because it can just completely tank your honor mode run. So wisdom's actually really important. I mean, it's probably important for anybody, but it's more important if you're doing a solo run. So when Baldur's Gate 3 first launched into early access, a lot of you guys that are watching probably weren't here for the launch. At least half of early access, actually I think 3/4 of early access, actually it might have been the entire early access, was the races in this game. You couldn't change their ability score bonuses. And then Larian made a last minute change to where we could control where we want the bonus to go to. And that changed a lot. That made it so pretty much any race can play any class anyways, but there was definitely some serious advantages that some races had over other races until Larian made that change. And at first I was like a little hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I like them changing it and all that. I think it was a great change, and I really enjoy not having to care as much about trying to optimize the race and class choice, while at the same time, as long as D&D keeps the racial features, like the really special racial features that races can have, as really unique, such as the half-orc features, I think it still makes it so like the races are unique from one another and can still also be really important and fit classes better than other races. But the ability score thing we no longer have to worry about. So let's see here. What would be good for a Hexblade? Anything special that stands out here? Fey Ancestry might not be bad for a solo run. Elven Weapon Training gives you longsword, short bow, and longbow. I think the Hexblade already has proficiency with all those, doesn't it? Let me look up the... Hold on, that music's way too loud right now. Let me look up the Baldur's Gate 3 Hexblade wiki. Alright, so we have proficiency with medium, shields, and martial weapons. Alright, so we don't need anything from the elf. Tiefling, hellish resistance, I mean, not bad to have. Don't need anything from the drow. I don't know if superior dark vision would help at all when we already have the ability to see in darkness if we take Devil's Sight. Magic can't put you to sleep. That's not a bad idea. Humans have proficiency with spears and armor proficiency with light, so we don't need that. Human versatility, select an additional skill, so that's utility. Githyanki has the martial prodigy. A lifetime of relentless training gives you armor proficiency with light and medium. Don't need that. That's utility based. Dwarfs get battle axe, hand axe. Don't need that. Don't need that. Advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage. Not that important. Don't need anything from the half-elf. The wood half-elf I feel like would be nice for the movement speed increase. Or the wood elf. And we got the halfling. When you roll for a 1, you can re-roll the die. I mean, not bad to have. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Probably not bad to have too, especially for a solo run. Gnomes have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. That's pretty good. I'm thinking I gotta get my mind out of like a solo run though. That's actually really nice to have advantage on all of those. That's really good for a solo run. Or actually it's good for even a party run if you run 4 on honor mode. Dragonborn has 30 movement speed. And then half orc has... We don't need relentless endurance because it already comes with the Hexblade. Savage attacks. When you land a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you deal extra dice. I don't know. Maybe there's really nothing that stands out right now besides movement speed boosts. Maybe savage attacks isn't bad to have. or the gnome. You guys think any of the races stand out here? Tiefling was dismissed so easily. Well, Tiefling's really good in D&D because you get the charisma boost, but they don't do that in this game, so it doesn't really matter. Well, let's look at all the side ones. You get Thaumaturgy, Mage Hand, Produce Flame. I mean, the fire resistance is pretty nice, so it's not a bad choice, but it's not as valuable in Baldur's Gate 3 as it is in D&D. Benny, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, Benny. Nope, no idea when patch 8's going to launch. Half Orc is fun. Same with the Half Drow. I think sometime in April, I think was Larian's plan, but I don't know. I really have no idea if that's going to happen or not. Thanks, Benny. All right, back to our load point. There's really like nothing that really stands out, in my opinion. I'm going to look through that again later, but... I mean, movement speed boost. I really like the gnome feature. Maybe savage attacks? I don't know. It's like... maybe lucky for the halfling. I'm thinking that I don't know. It's not a big deal. Can think of it from like a utility perspective too. All right.
No time to rest.
Fate, dost thou require as?
All right, so let's think here for the Hexblade. What cantrips would be most useful as just kind of like a first pass when I'm not that knowledgeable on the Hexblade right now? Which ones would be useful? The most useful. If I'm thematically playing this class. I think we have to have Booming Blade. Eldritch Blast, I would say, is probably a must-have for this. Just so I have some range capabilities. Alright, I'm thinking Booming Blade and Eldritch Blast are probably the best to start off with. And we can pick more as we level up. I mean, Toll the Dead's probably not bad to have, but really, like, you're probably going to be using your action for Eldritch Blast. And your melee attacks. Like, Toll the Dead's not going to be something that you would typically do. Bone Chill's nice to stop targets from being able to heal, so I definitely think that's not a bad one to have. And then if I'm playing solo or you don't have somebody in your party that can do Minor Illusion, that's probably the best here. So let's go for my initial pass through here for cantrips. Level 1, and I'll probably change this as we play and experiment. Booming Blade, Eldritch. For subclass, we're going to go with the Hexblade. You have made your pact with a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell, a force that manifests its sentient magic weapons carved from the stuff of shadow. So for spells, so we got to think here. If you play a Hexblade all the way to level 12, you only have 3 spell slots. And 2 for the majority of the game, because you don't get your 3rd spell slot, I believe, until level 11, if I remember correctly. So with the Hexblade, unless we like multi-classed, even if we multi-class, depends on what we multi-class into. We're not really looking to have like a million different spells, and I'm also going to be using my melee attack quite a lot. So I'm thinking, what do we have here that would be good for emergency spells? If in the moment you need it, probably shield, just to have it. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I'm thinking that's a better choice than getting something like Witch Bolt or something like that, where you wouldn't be focused on pretty much ever using it. Or you wouldn't be using it. I mean, you could be using it if you come across a target that's vulnerable to lightning damage, but I'm thinking selfishly right now, it's probably not a bad idea just to have shield on him, because we're going to have a bunch of spells that we don't use that much. So having this available as a reaction doesn't seem like it would be a bad idea. I don't know about Armor of Agathis. An entire spell slot to cast Armor of Agathis. It might be good. We only have 2 spell slots for the majority of the game though, unless we multi-class. With that said, you can cast Armor of Agathis, short rest, and then you have your spell slots back. I don't think I need Arms of Hadar. And Hex, I'm trying to think like what would for our bonus action if I'm doing a darkness build. Our bonus, if I'm doing a darkness build, I need concentration for darkness, and I wouldn't be using Hex hardly at all. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like it wouldn't be bad to have Armor of Agathis. I feel like it wouldn't be bad to have Hex too, in case like I'm in a situation where darkness isn't working or something. But for the most part, I don't think I'm going to be using Hex. The good thing about Hex is that you can hold it for the entire round. So you use the spell slot, but at the same time, you can have it active for an entire combat encounter. But if I want to do a darkness build, I don't think Hex is the way to go. But not everybody wants to do darkness builds, right? I don't think I would use Wrathful Smite either. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, Silver, what's up? Hex will be pretty sick with Eldritch Blast. Hex can be real. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep, I got Booming Blade selected right now. Yeah, and we got Hexblade's Curse, which can be applied with a bonus action. With that said, I think the majority of the time that Hexblade Curse is going to apply is going to be just as a passive effect, and I don't have to use a bonus action on casting it. All right, so I guess the one that I'm liking right now, that I'm thinking we get the most use out of, is Shield, to have as an emergency spell. Wrathful Smite, if the problem is, if we're doing darkness build, unless somebody else casts darkness for me, all of these spells that require concentration aren't going to be used that much. But we could have like a Shadow Sorcerer, or any other character that has darkness, cast darkness, and then we don't have to worry about that too. So there's a lot of different possibilities here. I'm going to choose Armor of Agathis right now. Then for ability scores, Charisma is going to be by far the most important skill. The question is... Okay, thank God. So right away at level 1, we can already dump Strength. That's crazy. So if we do Hag's Hair, we're going to want a 17 Charisma. We're going to want Dexterity, probably at a minimum of 14 to get that +2 to AC, because we have medium armor. I'm thinking that's probably going to be it right there. If I was doing Hag's Hair. Which I don't have on my character right now. So many different ways that you can do this, but I think first and foremost, obviously you want Charisma to 20 at some point. Charisma, Dex, and Con are really the main ones here. That's really all that matters, I think. And then Wisdom is really important if you're playing solo, of course, but it's also important with a party. But trying to think, like running a two-handed sword with dumping Strength, it doesn't matter because my two-handed sword is going to be using Charisma. But at the same time, like, it's nice to be able to jump places sometimes, but... Okay, there's going to be a million different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to do that for now. That's not the optimal spread right there, but that's fine. The main thing is, if I was doing a guide, is to let people know charisma, dex, and con. 14 for the +2. Charisma to help with holding concentration. I wonder if I could do this. Hold on. Hold on. This might be better. I think I like that better, actually. Without the hag's hair. Without the hag's hair, I think I like this start right here, especially for my solo character. Let me write this down real fast. Hey, Mona. Dump strength and dump int. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. And you got to think too, like, it depends, like, not every player wants to play and then respec. Like, you can spec prior to the hag's hair and then after the hag's hair going back and respec. There's a million different ways that you can do this, but I think this is probably going to be the way that I start on my honor mode run when patch 8 drops. Something like this. It's a little selfish, and I think that's good. Skill proficiencies, I mean, I don't really care about that right now. We would probably focus on, obviously, like intimidation, the charisma skills. We have one more choice. What would I choose here? Deception. Deception and intimidation. Problem is, both of them oftentimes present themselves in the same dialogue. But whatever, that's fine. All right. Okay, so back to our Hexblade. We have Bind Hexed Weapon. Bind to your main hand weapon. Its damage becomes magical. You cannot drop or throw it, and you become proficient with it if you weren't already. Which that, I don't know why they even put that in the game. What is the... Oh, okay, hold on. Never mind. No, we have proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. Like, what else is there to be proficient in? Is that completely pointless to even have it? Like, written in the skill description? When you attack with this weapon, there's a chance that Hexblade's curse will be applied to the target. Alright, hold on 1 second. I remember yesterday, or 2 days ago, when I was doing this, we should have proficiency with all the finesse weapons. When I was doing this a couple days ago, I forgot to use Bind Hexed Weapon. And it was a major mistake for the start of the combat encounter, because if you don't use Bind Hexed Weapon, then you're attacking with your dexterity or your strength modifier. Which in this case, they're both much lower than charisma, of course. Alright. You can only have one packed weapon at any time, and it uses your charisma modifier, so that's the really big thing right here. The weapon returns to its previous state if you're more than 5 feet away for more than 10 rounds. Okay. Typically, combat encounters aren't going to go on longer than 10 rounds. And then we have Hexblade's Curse. Curse a target. Your damage rolls against the target gain a bonus equal to your proficiency bonus. So that's going to be a +4 by the end of the game. The number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking the target is also reduced by 1. It's actually pretty nice. And just to have that as a passive. I'm thinking it'd be cool to do like a Hexadin, like the Hexblade mixed with the Paladin, and then you'll have more of a chance of getting that critical hit with Divine Smite. Also, if the target dies, you regain 4 hit points. It lasts for up to 10 turns and has a 60-foot range, and it costs a bonus action. But the cool thing about this is that So we have it as a bonus action, where we have to actually activate it ourselves, but naturally, our binded weapon has a chance of inflicting Hexblade's curse without me actually using the bonus action Hexblade's curse, and that's a really important feature here. I don't know what the chance is of it actually landing or taking effect. And then we have proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. I think that's going to be a really good multi-class option for people. You gain Bind Hexed Weapon, which lets you use your Charisma modifier instead of your Strength or Dex when attacking with weapons that you're proficient with. Alright. On to the next level. Let me back up a little bit first, though.
Don't waste a step.
That character is encumbered right now. What am I even carrying? Oh, look, I have all the nether stones. What is so heavy in my inventory? I have a head in my inventory. It's the clown head. It's Dribble's head. Can probably actually get rid of most of this stuff. I don't need any of this while we're testing things. I'll save some gold on my character. I have a lot of things added to wares here. Alright, let's send that to camp. Let's send that to camp. We don't need potions. Send to camp. And we're going to send all these to camp. My strength has been dumped, so that's why it's so hard to carry things right now. We'll send that to camp. Send that to camp. I'm going to hang on to these because I'm trying to think, like, what weapon do I want to roll with? My first thought is a two-handed melee weapon. So right now I have heavy armor on, which is not what we want to be using. Hey, Wolfheart, you looking damn good. I can use the helm. We're good with the cloak. We're good with the gloves. And we're good with the boots as well. So let's see what we have for armor here. I don't have any medium armor. Which is what we would typically be using. I forgot they added the ability to go into the camp chest in the bottom left. That was one of the updates. So let's go to type. And we do have medium armor here. So I have Githyanki's plate, which is 15. If I multi-classed into a paladin, then we could wear heavy armor. And then our dexterity wouldn't even be as important either. But it's still useful though for saving throws and initiative. Psionic ward armor. Alright, I think we're going to put on the psionic ward armor. For now. So equip that on Wolf. And that gets my AC to a 17 right now. And I don't believe I want to do the one-handed weapon with a shield build. I think we want to go all out with damage because that's more fun, right? So let's go ahead and now I can cast my spells. Sure, we'll leave missile snaring on. I'm going to leave shield on as well. We got our Booming Blade cantrip, Hexblade's Curse, Bind Hex Weapon, and then Eldritch Blast. So the first thing we're going to want to do immediately after resting is, of course, bind our weapon. So we're going to bind the Sword of Chaos here. And binding the Sword of Chaos is going to make it so we can attack with our Charisma modifier as opposed to Strength, which is why I dumped Strength. It will allow us to possibly get that chance of inflicting Hexblade's curse on targets just by attacking. And it's also magical, so we can overcome physical damage resistance. We cannot drop or throw it, so it can't be command dropped or taken out of our hands. Yeah, I love the green glow too. It's so Hexbladey. And there it is. Weapon, enchantment, permanent. It goes away though. You can put it in your inventory though? Yeah, you can put it in your inventory, but it did say the weapon returns to its previous state if you're more than 5 feet away from it for more than 10 rounds. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious, so let's drop it on the... Cannot be taken out. What do you mean? Why can't I do that? Maybe you can't do it because it's binded to me? I've never seen that before. What if I send it to camp? I can't. Okay, I guess because it's binded to me. Alright, well, I guess we're not testing that out. Then we have our booming blade. Strike with your weapon, afflicting your foe with a resonance that hurts them for 1 to 8 thunder damage when they move. So it's not like that crazy good, but it's just like when you attack, you might as well get that extra benefit. You might as well, because it's not taking anything away from your regular attack, so it's just like, it's something you might as well just use, and you'll probably get some more damage out of it. We have our Armor of Agathis and Hexblade's Curse. Okay, alright, let's level up again. Hexblade Warlock, Multiclass, Oathbreaker, Pally, Dark Urge. Oh, it sounds so good, doesn't it? That is a good question, Mona. I'm not sure. Okay, level 2. So anything concentration, I mean, we can take Hex just to have it. I mean, none of these are really anything that I need. But since we can take 2 spells, I might as well just take Hex to have it. I don't think I would hardly ever use Wrathful Smite if we're doing a darkness build. Certainly not using buff spells that take concentration. So this choice doesn't really matter for the build that I'm going with. It's not really that big of a deal. Just take Wrathful Smite. Alright, our Eldritch Invocations. So with a darkness build, we're definitely going to want Devil's Sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 80 feet. So that pretty much makes all of the races that give you superior dark vision. Superior dark vision more than 80? I don't think it is. I think it makes all those racial features completely pointless if you're going with Devil's Sight. And then I think we would probably focus on probably having some more benefits to the Eldritch Blast. Even though Hexblade's going to be melee, there's certainly going to be opponents that we can shoot when nobody's in front of us. And actually, if I'm hiding in the darkness and there's enemies that aren't coming in, we can shoot out of the darkness and have our... I think Eldritch Blast is going to be used quite a lot, actually. Jess, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Carvok got a membership. Nice. The thing I don't get about Packed Weapon is how can it ever be more than 5 feet away from you if you can't drop it? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can throw it? Maybe I should try throwing it. Being able to drop your weapon sounds good in a weapon-based damage build, as it's insurance against whatever might otherwise make you drop it. Yeah, don't the Githyanki? I think the Githyanki that you fight in this game have the ability to disarm you. They can get really annoying, because they're some of the hardest opponents in this game to face up against. Alright, so Devil's Sight is going to be a must-have for me. Devil's Sight, this is going to be level 2 invocations. Ian, thank you for the 5 gifted, and thank you for the other day too, Ian. I know I didn't notice it until the end, but I'm getting you right on the spot this time. The Devil's Sight. And then probably Agonizing Blast. Agonizing Blast. So Agonizing Blast, for those of you guys unfamiliar, one of the best invocations, period, for Warlocks, if you like using Eldritch Blast, which who doesn't? Because it adds your Charisma modifier to the damage that it deals. And our Charisma modifier is super high, so I think these are the 2 choices that I would start off with. What is one with shadows? It's not letting me examine. What the hell? Thanks for the 2, Jess. Ian, one up to. There we go. Vanish into the darkness and become invisible as long as you stand still. I mean, trying to think if I could ever use that for my solo run. It might not be bad. Maybe. Just to get some heat off my character, but whatever. Not something important right now. Sesame says the one with shadows invocation for a 5th level warlock allows them to become invisible as an action when in an area of dim light or darkness until they move, take an action or a reaction. Yeah, I think there's going to be a point where I don't need a lot of the invocations, so I'll probably take that one just to have for an emergency situation. Warlock level 3. Of course, Darkness. Darkness is going to be my first choice. Level 3 spells. So, Darkness for me. Other people may consider... I mean, Misty Step is going to be one that I want to pick up at some point, just to have it for an escape if needed. Invisibility might not be bad to have too. Shadowblade. Weave a shadowy short sword in your hand that deals 2 to 16 psychic damage. So is there any benefit in using this over binding a weapon? Two to 16 psychic damage. When you use the sword to attack a target that's in dim light or darkness, you make the attack roll with advantage. Okay, I mean, we're already getting advantage in darkness. Don't know what the point of that would be. I mean, dim light's gonna help, right? The Shadowblade can be unequipped and equipped again, but must remain on the spellcaster's person. Lasts until a long rest. I don't think this is going to be something that I end up using. Especially considering it uses up a spell slot, too. Yeah, Misty Step's one of the best spells in the game, for sure. Hey, David, what's up? Better ways to use an invocation on invite with no movement. Protection from good or evil is pretty great too. Yeah, I wouldn't use that on my paladin. We only have 2 spell slots, but definitely maybe on another character. Shadow plus Wrathful Smite plus Steeped in Bliss. If Shadowblade was like the spirit weapon and it was external to you, you have to hold it right. Hold Person is very nice too, but not going to really fit. Not going to really fit this build. It's a concentration spell. I would use Hold Person probably with another character that has more spell slots and then attack that character with my Hexblade. We don't have spell slots for Hold Person. It just ain't going to work with a Warlock because if you miss, you also lose that spell slot too. And it's like big trouble. Alright, now I do have to test out something here. I want to see how we can get extra attack and what causes our character to get extra attack. So Pact of the Blade, you can summon a packed weapon or bind the one you are wielding, making it magical. So that doesn't matter at all because we already got that at level 1. Hexblade Warlocks who already have bind hexed weapon do not gain this bind. Let me look on the wiki real fast. I want to see what the other benefits are of 3 of the Pact of the Blade. So I'm thinking, I think I might need it. I think you can't get extra attack unless you take Pact of the Blade. But I don't know for sure. In Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know if there's any other benefits to Pact of the Blade. Booming Blade plus Repelling Blast. So this is interesting because the whole point of Larian's Pact of the Blade was to give players the opportunity to play something that's somewhat similar to a Hexblade Warlock because they didn't have the Hexblade on launch. So we just got to kind of figure out here, like, if it's actually needed or not. And if it's not, then of course we're probably going to take like Pact of the Chain to get the little companion. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Jess, for the super chats. Nick says you do need Pact of the Blade for extra attacks. That's what I was thinking too. I wish it would tell you that. I want to test it though, so we're going to test it quickly. So I'm going to take... Hold on, let me back out of this. Let's do a save right here so I don't have to redo the level. Larian could change all this too. Like I'm not going to drop like a guide for this until patch 8 drops and I can see the notes. What are we on right now? We're on Wolf, so let's go to new save, and this is level 2 Hex. Something says level 5 in Baldur's Gate 3 Pact of the Blade simply allows 2 attacks at level 5 without taking an invocation. All right. I'm actually gonna take Blade right now. Hold on, what were we going with? I was going with, we're taking Darkness. I'm gonna take Blade right now and we're gonna see what it does. All right. There's no benefit to it at level 3 at all. Okay, level 4. Doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. It depends on like what you're running and what type of party. None of this is really going to be something that's needed, especially considering that if you're not even doing a darkness build or a melee build, like you're still going to have Eldritch Blast, which is going to deal more damage than all of these. Way more damage. Bone Chill is nice to have, but somebody else might have it, or you might have a scroll of Bone Chill. I'm going to take Minor Illusion, because if I'm playing solo or duo, it's going to be nice to have, so I'm going to go with Minor Illusion. Minor Illusion. For spells, let's see. A lot of these are nice spells, but once again, it's you don't have the opportunity to use them with the Warlock, so. Branding Smite. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be used. Enthrall, Hold Person, we don't have. Invisibility might be nice to have as a backup for an emergency. I'm going to take Misty Step to have that movement if needed. And then I have a decision here. We can take Great Weapon Master right now. Honestly, might not be a bad idea. The problem is I didn't set up my ability scores well for that. I have 2 odd numbers right now. Not a bad play right there, but at the same time, having Great Weapon Master early on in the game is insanely powerful. So I think what I would do if I was trying to optimize on like a solo run is I would have 1 odd number, which would be my charisma. Con would probably be 14. I'd have 1 odd number. I would get the Hag's Hair. That would boost charisma to 18, and then I would take Great Weapon Master. Right now, since my stats are not set up for that, I'm going to still take Great Weapon Master. And it's not the end of the world, actually. I just don't have the Hag's Hair on me right now, and that will leave me with 1 odd ability score, so this isn't like what you should do, but... Great Weapon Master. When you land a critical hit or kill a target with a melee weapon attack, you can make another melee weapon attack as a bonus action that turn. Attacks with a melee weapon that you're proficient with and wielding in both hands can deal an additional 10 damage at the cost of a -5 attack roll penalty. You can toggle it on and off. One of my favorite feats in the game. So we're going to take Great Weapon Master, and I'm going to say 17 charisma plus Hag's Hair would have me at 18 at this level, which would make a huge difference. I think it's the only way I can get to 18 charisma until level 8. So that's actually... Hag's Hair really will come in handy with this. Alright. Can never go wrong with teleport. That's true. Hey, Gorilla, what's up? You as well. Savage Attacker with Booming Blade. Actually can't use Booming Blade on Shadow Blade in D&D because Booming Blade needs a weapon that costs at least 1 silver. There's all those little rules in D&D. All the things you need to do your spell casting and stuff. All the items. Yes, Great Weapon Master is, yes, way better. Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter are 2 of the most powerful damn feats that you can get in this game. If you guys want to deal insane damage and you're playing a 2-handed melee character, 100% Great Weapon Master. If you're doing a ranged character using... Do you need bows? I think you do. Ranged weapon attacks with weapons. Okay, so it can be bows or crossbows. Sharpshooter is the equivalent of Great Weapon Master, but the ranged equivalent. The only thing about these feats is they're a little bit more advanced, so a beginner player might not understand how to offset the attack roll penalty. So we're getting a flat bonus plus 10 on every melee attack that lands. A plus 10. Flat plus 10. There's no RNG, there's no roll or anything. It's just a plus 10 damage whenever we land a melee attack. But it comes at the cost of a -5 to your attack rolls. So you're much more likely to miss your attack. Now with that said, there's ways to offset this. So there's potions. You can have a character cast Bless on your character. And in my case, if we're doing a darkness build, fighting in the darkness, I'll have advantage on my attacks against opponents, and that will offset the -5. Not entirely, but probably pretty close to if I never had the -5 in the first place. So yeah, Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter, for any of you guys that are not familiar with these feats, these are probably maybe the 2 most powerful feats in the entirety of the game that will get you dealing insane damage, even late game. Early game though, plus 10 is like some of the opponents have 20 HP, so you can just knock an opponent in 1 hit early on in the game. I've not tested that out, RDT. All right, level 5. Okay, so here we go. So here's the information that I was looking for. I'm happy I chose Hack to the Blade first versus trying the other ones first and seeing if it worked that way. So first of all, at level 5, Deepen Pack. Pleased with your service. Oh yeah, we have 38 HP too. So that's why Con's going to be kind of important because we're on the front line, so... Definitely want minimum Con 14 in character creation. Pleased with your service, your otherworldly patron added new boons to the terms of your pact. Here is the important information. Let me grab my notes. Level 5. Deepen Pack. Blade pact holders gain an extra attack with their packed weapons. So that's the reason why you would take it. If you're playing a Hexblade, melee focused, Pact of the Blade, absolutely. We were just talking about some of the most powerful feats in the game. Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter. Extra attack, the extra attack feature, not something that you can get at level 4. But most of the martial class gets it. This is one of the biggest power boosts in this game too. And it seems like, oh yeah, we're getting at level 5 just like everybody else does too. So this is a must-have for my build. The Pact of the Chains Familiar also gains an extra attack, so we're not doing that. And the Pact of the Tome Warlocks can cast Animate Dead, Haste, Call Lightning once per long rest. Doesn't matter. We don't got spell slots for that. Alright, for spells, I have to run to the bathroom real fast, so I'm going to do that. And then we shall continue on. So give me 1 second, y'all. And we're going to head out and test this guy out in the city once I finish leveling up here. And I might even do like a duo with the Shadow Sorcerer, because that's kind of my plan for patch 8. Shadow Sorc, Hexblade, Honor Mode, 2-person party. Should be pretty fun. Okay, 1 second, everyone. I'll be right back. I dream this music. Shadowblade being upcast to 48 damage. Yeah, I mean, I have a two-handed weapon, though, that's going to be dealing probably more damage than that. And it doesn't cost me a spell slot either. Maybe for some builds, though, it might be cool. Alright, so for spells... The only problem with Hunger of Hadar is that it's concentration, and we're doing the darkness build right now, but other than that, it's a really good spell. It conflicts with other warlocks though too, because other warlocks tend to use Hex. But I can also think, like, in my head, like, if I have another character casting, if I have my Shadow Sorcerer casting Darkness, or my Hexblade, that frees up my concentration. And then I can use other types of spells. So actually, this might not be bad for Hexblade. I'm also thinking Counterspell might actually be really good to have as an emergency spell. If I have all these spells that I may or may not use, I feel more comfortable having like emergency backup spells in case like something serious really comes into my party or onto my character. So I'm gonna, let's see. Counterspell will be so good. Yep, you got to keep in mind, I have 2 spell slots, so it's not really something very good for most spellcasters. For this character, it's an emergency spell. Very rarely would I ever use it. But we're in the territory now where we get all these extra spells that we don't need, that we're hardly ever going to use. So just trying to think what spells would save me in a situation if the rare chance comes up where I actually do need it. But I wouldn't ever be counterspelling with a warlock, pretty much, because if you have other casters in your group that have way more spell slots, like, you definitely want to use them for something like that. But I think I'm going to take it. Just for emergency. Counterspell emergency, we're going to write down. But also, Hunger of Hadar, going to be good for a lot of warlock players. Just not good for the darkness build if I'm casting darkness myself, but it might be good to just have, so maybe I'll pick it up next level. Nothing else here is really... I mean, Shatter is good to have too, but that's something you'd want to use with like a warlock, or like a wizard or a sorcerer or something. And Mirror Image is also a great spell too, but very limited in spell slots right now, so we don't have many choices. Yep, Hunger of Hadar is concentration, so it's going to be a backup in the future. Alright, Eldritch Invocations. You can cast Slow with a Warlock spell slot. Nope. Costs a spell slot. We don't have extra spell slots. You can cast Bestow Curse. Nope. Armor of Shadows. You cast Mage Armor. Nope. We have medium armor proficiency. You can cast Speak with Animals at will. Nope. Beguiling Influence. You invoke your patron's bewitching charm. You gain proficiency in deception. Nope. Nice RP features for parties and stuff, but not for what we're doing. Fiendish Vigor. You can cast False Life on yourself as a level 1 spell slot without expending a spell slot. Maybe. Maybe this will be one that I'll take when I don't need any other ones, and then you might as well just have it, right? Mask of Many Faces, you can cast Disguise Self. Nice, but nope, we don't need it. One with the Shadows, we don't need it right now. Repelling Blast, I think, is what I am going to take. Let me think, though. I don't necessarily always want to push enemies away, but I think it's going to be Repelling Blast. We're going to have more Eldritch Invocation choices, but for my character, Thief of Five Fates. Once per long rest, you can Bane using a Warlock spell slot, so no, that's not good. If it was without a Warlock spell slot, sure, maybe, but it's a concentration spell, plus it costs a spell slot. So I'm thinking right here, Invocations. Repelling Blast could obviously be useful, because we're going to be using Eldritch Blast, and it's nice to knock opponents off of ledges, or maybe push them away from you. But I'm also considering Fiendish Vigor. I just don't know like what choices we're going to have in the future for invocations, so... I don't know if you get to do it once per long rest. I'm going to choose it right now just so we can test it out. You only get to use it once per long rest. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but once again, if you have other things that you're not going to use, you might as well take advantage of 7 extra HP, because you'll definitely use the 7 HP. Alright, so those are the two that I'm liking right now, Fiendish Vigor and Repelling Blast, and I'm going to take Fiendish Vigor right now. And let's back out and let's cast it. Let's see how it works here. Alright, gain 7 temp HP. You can only have temp HP from one source. So it might conflict with other spells, but... Alright, so I have my +7. I forget. Can this 7... Does anybody know? I can test it right now. I'm going to test it right now. I'm a little bit confused. It's been a while since I played. Let's do a magic missile. Alright, so I just lost 8 HP. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, so it's gone for good. We're back to 38. We're not back up to 40, whatever. So it can't be restored. But that's okay. Because you can just keep using this anytime your HP goes away. So it lasts until a long rest, but if it's gone during a combat encounter, in between combat encounters, when you take a short rest, you can cast it again. Okay, I actually like that. That's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but there's nothing else that we're really using, so... Okay, I actually don't mind that, now that I think about it. Yep, we can toggle off Repelling Blast. Thanks for the reminder. So let me just make a note here. Fiendish Vigor. No spell slot. And can be cast in between encounters to replenish. So it's just a little extra bonus that you can get. That you're making use of something versus having something that you're not using at all. Nothing crazy, but good enough. Yeah, good for solo too. Alright, on to the next level. We get another spell choice here, so we're still using darkness with our concentration. I think I'm gonna take Hunger of Hadar here, just because it's so powerful. And this will just be like a once in a lifetime type thing that I use. Then again, like later on in the game, I'm probably gonna have Cone of Cold and some other spells, but what else could I make use of? Invisibility is always not bad to have. Don't think I need Mirror Image. Alright, I'm gonna go with Hunger of Hadar. We'll probably never use it, but it's the same for all the spells, so... I think it's our best out of what we have there. Now we get another spell. We have Dimension Door, not bad for getting around. Greater Invisibility is nice, but probably not for the Hexblade. Staggering Smite. What kind of smites do Hexblades use? Possibly stagger your target and take reactions is more likely to miss. Do Hexblades use Staggering Smite? I'm gonna have to look at some 5th edition Hexblade guides and see what D&D players are using. This doesn't seem like it'd be too bad, like if you're facing off against a boss and you're like the front line person. But it requires concentration, so it's not going to do me any good right now. I think really at this point, it's whatever you want, whatever type of spells you think you might have, like situational spells that you might find use. Honestly, I might take Invisibility or Mage Armor here. We don't have spell slots for any of these, so... We don't want banishment, dominate beast. All these are concentration. Yeah, I don't think this really matters that much, so I'm not going to think too much about it. And I'm just going to take... Mirror image could be kind of like an emergency situation too. If I was trying to retreat for something, just cast it. But then again, I probably use dash. I'm going to take invisibility, I think. Hey, Thomas. What's up, man? Yeah, darkness, I'm going to show you in just a second, Jesse. We're going to be casting darkness. Darkness simply just creates a little area of darkness that I can fight within. Doesn't deal any damage, it just makes enemies not able to see you. And you have advantage against attacks on them. Alright, invisibility, because this doesn't really matter that much. There's nothing like that's serious. This can be left to a player's preference here. So level 7. Spell doesn't really matter. I'm going with invisibility right now. Another emergency type spell. Then again, I'm going to have potions, so it's probably not that big of a deal. And now we have another invocation to choose from. So my first thought here is Repelling Blast, but let's look at the new ones. Book of Ancient Secrets. You can inscribe magical rituals in your Book of Shadows. Gain the Ray of Sickness, Chromatic Orb, and Silence spells. I thought this was only going to be like a Pact of the Tome type invocation here. Probably would like hardly ever use Ray of Sickness. Chromatic Orb could come in handy. And Silence could potentially come in handy too. You can cast these spells once per long rest. They don't expend any spell slots. That's the thing I'm liking about this one. So this is a possibility. Dreadful Word. You can cast Confusion with a Warlock spell slot. Nope, we don't want that. Sculptor of Flesh. Polymorph with a Warlock spell slot. I think it's nice, but we don't have spell slots. You can cast Slow. Nope, we don't want that. I'm thinking Repelling Blast right here. And then possibly that other one at a layer level. So level 7 invocation. Repelling Blast will definitely be making use of. There's nothing to even think about, so... Either taking that at level 5 or taking it at level 7. What does Hexblade get over Pact of the Blade? So the main benefit of taking Pact of the Blade is simply that you get extra attack. So if you do Hexblade without Pact of the Blade, you don't get extra attack at level 5. Repelling Blast is a lot of fun, so I'm going to go with Repelling Blast. Hey Nasuna, what's up? Ice True Killer. What up, Keek? How are you, Kyle? Companions that cast magic that requires sight won't work in darkness. That's why I have a plan for that. We're using a Shadow Sorcerer. Alright, so level 8. Once again, the spell choice doesn't really matter that much here. Really anything that you might get use of in a random situation. If I had to choose one, I honestly don't even care. I don't even have a preference here. Like, none of these matter really at all. Dimension Door, I mean, maybe for an emergency escape. Maybe Staggering Smite. Probably would never use it though. I'm going to take Staggering Smite just so we can test it out a little bit. And then for our ability score improvement at level 8, since we took Great Weapon Master, this is the time where we definitely want to get our Charisma to 18. And if we took the Hag's Hair, this will be Charisma 20. So if you start with 17 Charisma, get the Hag's Hair at like level 3 or 4, you'll have 18. Your modifier goes up. You take Great Weapon Master Feat at level 4, and then at level 20, or not level 20, at level 8, you do a 2 ability score improvement into Charisma, and then you have 20 Charisma at level 8. Perfect for this build. I can't get it right now because I didn't start up the ability scores in the right right way, and I don't have the hag's hair. But that's what I would be doing. But since I can't do that, we're going to do one into con and one into charisma, just for the sake of optimization right now. Let me write that down on my notes here. So level 8 is going to be ASI charisma to 20 with hag's hair, and that's huge. So many things work off of our charisma. Our melee weapon attacks, our spells. Not to mention, having a high charisma character in your party is really good to have for all of the dialogue checks in the game. All right. Level 9. I'm going to take Cone of Cold here. Wouldn't be using it too often, but it's a very good AoE spell. If there was a situation where there's like 10 enemies in front of me and a cone, I may consider actually using it, and it doesn't use concentration. So Cone of Cold for sure, but probably not going to be used too often. Now we have another Eldritch Invocation choice. Yeah, my YouTube chat just keeps dying. I don't know what's up with that. You guys still with me? He spent more time in the character creation screen than I spent the entire game. This isn't character creation, this is just a level up. But I get what you're saying. Alright, so we got Minions of Chaos right now. Yeah, those of you guys that are stopping in right now, I'm literally just testing out the playtest subclasses for Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm not doing a run right now. We're taking our time, we're reading the descriptions, trying to understand things deeper, figure out some possible builds when patch 8 comes out, hopefully sometime this month. And right now I'm messing with the Hexblade Warlock, which is a new subclass that's coming with patch 8. And it's my personal favorite. Tried it out a couple days ago. Ton of fun. And once I get to level 12 here, we're going to go into the city and I'm just going to start playing solo with it and try to kill a bunch of civilians in the city and just get a feel for the class and make sure I learn it in and out so I can make a couple videos on it in the future. So I just decided to go live tonight and do this with you guys versus doing it on my own. Minions of Chaos. And for some reason, people like watching this. The viewer numbers aren't even that bad, so maybe I'll do more in the future. You can cast Conjure Elemental with a Warlock spell slot, so probably not. You can cast Enhanced Leap without expending a spell slot. Now that's something... This is something that we could get use out of if we cast it before combat begins. I might take this. Cast it before combat begins if we're able to. And then I can jump way further. I have a strength of 8 right now, so my jump distance is horrible. And this is something that I could maybe make use out of. Not good, not necessary, but there's so many other things that I would never use that this I could actually potentially use every combat encounter. So maybe. I think I'm going to go with the Book of the Ancient Secrets, though. So we get 3 more spells here that don't require a spell slot. Not my favorite spells, but not bad. Chromatic Orb is actually probably one of the best spells in the game now that I think of it. So I'm going to go Book of Ancient Secrets. This is level 9 Invocation. I'm going to go Book of Ancient Secrets. I'm going to do Dash. Otherworldly Leap is a possibility. It's good to be able to jump a long distance. Alright, let's see. It might only... Yeah, I wonder if you can upcast it. We're going to find out right now. Alright. Let's test that out real fast and make sure that it's working as intended. So let's set my Hexblade ones over here. these are all the spells that I'm going to be using all the time. These ones on the left are highly situational and probably not going to be used much at all. And you cannot upcast it. Actually, that's an important thing to note. Good thinking. So I actually might... I mean, really? Yeah, you can't upcast it. So this is actually... I mean, it's still not horrible. But it's not certainly not... Wait, 3d8 thunder damage. Is that the... Is that going to scale off of my charisma too? Let's go ahead and shoot it at... Shoot it at Gale. That's why we test things out.
Not quite yet, anyway.
No, now I can't use it again. Alright, I gotta test a few things out with that actually. Hold on. This is something I gotta write down. So, spells do not upcast. With that said, silence doesn't need to be upcasted. So in that case, I may consider actually taking... Silence is going to be nice to have. I may have considered taking Otherworldly Leap over Book of Ancient Secrets, but I got to think about that a little bit more. Yeah, the no upcast is pretty important to note here. I thought I was going to be able to upcast it, and that would have made a big difference, but... Also trying to see, is it going to be scaled off of Charisma? Or is it going to be like an intelligence spell? That's another thing I have to test out too. So hold on, let me write that down. I was going to try to test it on Gale, but he dodged the spell. Does it use int? Question mark. So I'll test that later. Warrior Jar, thank you so much for the Twitch raid. What's up, Alex? Silence plus Chromatic Orb is great. Invocation's only good for the silence. The orb and ray of sickness at level 1. Yeah, yep. So not as good of an invocation as I thought. But, you know, having silence available as a ritual spell where it doesn't use up a spell slot is not bad. Oh, never mind. It requires concentration. Okay, goodbye. Not picking this. Never mind. This invocation is a done. We're done with it. No siree. I'm taking Otherworldly Leap, and we are not taking Book of the Ancient Secrets. We are not taking it. Level 1 spells, not good at this point in the game. Silence requires concentration. We already have concentration spells. Doesn't work for this build. So that is a no. So I made a mistake right there, but I'm not going to reload to try to pick it up. But on my notes, we wrote that down, so... I'm not going to actually have that spell. We're not going to have Chromatic Orb, and we're not going to have... Let's see. What was the other one? Shit. Ray of Sickness. So pretend that I don't have those. Alright, Warlock level 10 if we're not multi-classing. We get another cantrip choice, and honestly, this really doesn't matter at all. But I'm going to go with Bone Chill. I'm going to recommend Bone Chill to people just because... Bone Chill makes it so opponents hit with it cannot heal themselves, and if you don't have anybody else in your group that can do it, it's probably good to have it on a character. And if I'm playing solo Hexblade, it's nice to have. Bone Chill because of no healing. I think it's going to come out this month, if I had to guess. In the tabletop game, Book of the Secrets allows the Warlock to learn ritual spells like a wizard, so it's a lot better. I don't like how Larian implemented it in this. Isn't that how it's implemented? The ritual spells? Get to use once per long rest, doesn't cost a spell slot. I know it's a little different than 5e, but... Alright, so Bone... Oh god. Bone Chill it is. There's hair in my mouth. For spells, there's really nothing here. Once again, this is going to be completely up to you. There's literally nothing of importance here. so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to choose Dimension Door just because it might be able to save me and another character if I'm doing like a duo run or something like that. But we'll probably never use it, so. Spell doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for my warlock, that is. Doesn't matter for Hex Darkness build. All right, level 11 now. Yep, warlocks spell slots level up with them. With that said, you only have 2 until level 11, so. Yo, Zyfiel, what's up? Baldur lane, co-op is cool. Might be doing a duo, I might be doing Shadow Sork and Hexblade. Surprisingly, co-op streams on my channel always do worse than when I do solo, from a streaming numbers perspective. That doesn't mean I won't ever do co-op, but I think it's because I'm way less attentive to the chat and stuff like that. Alright, so let's go with Mystic Arcanum. This is our level 11. Select one of your level 6 spells. Once per long rest, you can cast that spell without expending a spell slot. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Now we're getting into the good stuff here. Now we're getting into good stuff. So if there's one spell... Man, Circle of Death doesn't require concentration. Arcane Gate. I think it's a cool spell, but it's not something I would take here. Eye Bite? No, definitely not. No. Flesh to Stone. Atrophy a foe, restraining them until they temporarily turn to stone. Nope. I'm looking at Create Undead here, or Circle of Death. One of the two. Can Undead see in darkness? Only problem is you only get to use it once per long rest. It'd be really cool if it was per short rest. So Circle of Death, if the opponents make a con save, they only take half damage. But still, it can still be a fairly massive AoE. Felt the massive sphere of entropic energy around a creature devastate the target and all surrounding creatures. So I'm thinking I'm taking Circle of Death here. The Create Undead is tempting. Maybe Create Undead, actually. The problem is I'd have to kill a civilian before I go into combat, so I always have the Undead with me, otherwise you only get it for one combat encounter. There's got to be corpses around. It'd be a little bit harder if you're playing a good playthrough. I don't know. You guys have a preference here? What would you guys choose in this situation? It's not a big deal either way. Both can be beneficial. We have a massive AoE spell, and then I have a companion. If I'm playing like solo or duos, I think Create Undead is going to be better. I'm going to do Create Undead. Mystic Arcanum, we're going Create Undead. No spell slot. Oh yeah, Circle of Death is good thinking. It's on a creature, so you can't target the ground. Still, it could be pretty good, but we're going with Create Undead. All right, level 12. Oh, I need another spell. These are all concentration spells. Really, at this point, if I was playing with a party, I'd be picking spells that, like, other characters don't have. But at the same time, I wouldn't be using it much either, because these are concentration spells. We only have 3 spell slots at this point. Hold Monster is one of the best spells in the game, but I prefer not to have it on my Warlock, especially if I'm doing a Darkness build. But I might take it. I'm going to take Hold Monster, but this one's not going to be as important of a choice for a spell. So this is going to be dependent on party. Party, what emergency spells you have available already. And if you are playing solo or in a party. Yeah, I don't think I mean, Banishing Smite's concentration, right, Zayfiel? I don't think I want that because we're going off of using darkness right now. This isn't just like a general Hexblade, it's a specifically darkness-focused Hexblade build. I don't think I have room for it unless I'm relying on other party members to cast darkness. But I'll definitely write that down to check it out, because if I do like a guide or something, I'm not going to be talking a specific build. So let me write down Vanishing Smite for some Hexblade Warlocks. Not all. It is good. It is good, but I'm wondering if I'm using darkness, like maybe I've killed all the enemies except the boss. No, because I want to stay in my darkness. I want that darkness up so the opponent has disadvantage on their attacks against me. It can't be used on targets with 50 hit points or more. Ah, screw that. I'm going hold monster. This is all just emergency at this point, though. None of this is core to the build, so it doesn't matter. Hold monster it is. Not a big choice anyways, though. Screw that. Wolfheart BG3 guides. Alright, on to level 12. This is making me consider... Level 11 and this is making me consider a multi-class, possibly. We do get another Eldritch Invocation, though. Alright, so for this spell, let's see. Once again, doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to choose something. I'm not aiming to write anything down. We're just going to choose Banishing Smite. Alright, now we have Life Drinker. Attacks made with your weapon deal additional necrotic damage equal to your Charisma modifier. That's... We don't even have to talk about it anymore. Level 12, Invocation. Life Drinker. Add necrotic. 2 weapon attacks. That is an easy dub right there. And then, like I said, if I were to do this over, I wouldn't be taking Book of Ancient Secrets. I would be taking Otherworldly Leap, because nothing else is really useful. The only thing I can really get any use out of, unless you're doing something for like RP or utility focused, One with the shadows is a possibility, but honestly, for a solo run, it might not be a bad idea. If you're in a bad situation, maybe you're able to just take some of the heat off your character for a little bit. So hold on, let me go back into my notes here. So back at level, what level was it? At level 9, we're going to be taking Otherworldly Leap, or One with the Shadows. Both can be useful. None of them are great, but... And then that would mean at level 12. That would be level 9 to level 11. Level 12, we're just taking Life Drinker. All right. And then we also have a feat. So let's think here. Let's think. All right. So we should already have a 20 in Charisma at this point. We have 17 with Hag's Hair. That gives us an 18. Then we take Great Weapon Master. And then level 8, we have 20 Charisma. And now level 12, we have another choice here. I could do Constitution 18. I think what I'm going to go with is going to be Warcaster, though. You gain advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. You can also use a reaction to cast Shocking Grasp at a target moving out of melee range. I'm thinking Warcaster is going to be the way here. Either that, or I could just take a +2 in Constitution. Or Alert, actually. Okay, there's a few choices here. It all depends on what you're doing, like what kind of party you're running, how many people you're running with. So let's say level 12 feat. We could take Warcaster. I'm thinking that's what I want, though. Especially since I'm relying on holding darkness. I think that's the best choice here. You should already have a 20. If you don't have a 20 in Charisma, of course, that would be the time to do it. We could take Alert, which would be good. Or, I mean, it'd be good for anything, but it'd be really good for solo. Really good for a solo play. And I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing else. Warcaster, Alert. Wonder if... I gotta test out Polearm Master sometime. The problem is, if this was D&D 5e, we could play like Variant Human and choose Polearm Master or Great Weapon Master right away at level 1. And then at level 4, I could take one of the two, and we could do Polearm Master with Great Weapon Master, but there's just not enough choices of feats. And Larian doesn't allow you to get a feat at level 1, otherwise that would be pretty cool. So I don't think we're going to go the Polearm Master route, just because we don't have an extra feat. Alright, so it's Alert, Warcaster, or probably ASI. ASI, Dex, or Con. I'm going to go with Warcaster. I think that's going to be... it's going to be what I want here. Alright, I think we're going to head into the city and try some stuff. Yeah, don't worry about my, oh yeah, oh yeah, you could do, yeah, if you left your con at 15. Hold on, let me take a look real fast. Let's look at Resilient. Increase the ability score to 1 to a maximum of 20 and gain proficiency in that ability's saving throws. Nah. Nah. I don't think that's going to be as good, even if I plan around it. Actually, let me try to think of the math on this. Now that you bring it up, actually. I'm gonna have to do some research on this. Let's see, Warcaster. Warcaster gives us Shocking Grasp as a reaction. Probably actually not bad to have, not gonna lie. Because I'm not going to be using my reaction too much, so it'd be nice to have Shocking Grasp for some extra damage. What would be better? Advantage on saving throws, or having my proficiency bonus added to saving throws? Which would be a +4. I think advantage, right? Let me look this up. Let's see if any D&D players take Resilient or Warcaster. What is better? That's something that I'd have to... it would take too long to test it out. Warcaster is generally considered the better feat for maintaining concentration on spells. Resilient is more valuable at higher levels when proficiency bonus increases, so we don't have higher levels in Baldur's Gate 3. That's what one person says. Warcaster is better if you have a high con save. Take resilience if you're not going into melee much, but warcaster if you are. So I am going into melee, of course. Something to think about, actually. It's not a bad. Warcaster benefits basically require that you be in melee combat using... Honestly, Warcaster is great for those who will be up front, while resilience is better for those in the back. One or the other is usually a good idea for a caster. Alright, we're going to go with Warcaster, but I am definitely going to look more into that. Seems like 5 different news sources are reporting that Warcaster is better for melee characters, and that's what we are, so... But let me make a note about resilience, because I'm going to do some more research on that. Possibly resilient. Resilient plus the con. Alright. Now we can finally go into the city and test this out a little bit. I don't have the perfect ASI right now, so my Warlock is nerfed a little bit from what I'll actually be when we do like an official build. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, David, when I look a little bit deeper into it. All right, we don't care about our wizard. I am tempted to make a shadow sorcerer, but since we've been in the leveling up screen for so long, let's just go do some solo Hexblade out in the city.
Time to press ahead.
And we're gonna go to Revington, start killing people. Why do you say that, Sesame? Are you sure about that? Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real fast. Be right back.
I know, but you'll be in a big, cozy bed soon enough.
And you'll have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
I'm never allowed sweet things right before bed.
That's okay, with no coins.
This one time, we'll make an exception. As long as you stop sulking and start walking right now.
Cleaning, cooking, construction, the possibilities are endless. What do you get out of this? Provoked. Well, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Nearly there now.
Everyone deserves the
You can
chance
see
to
the
make some
city
coin.
up on the hill.
I see it. It's up there and we're down here.
That's why we need to walk just a little more. One foot in front of the other.
Not asking for
Saying
more.
that for days. My feet hurt.
I know, little, but you'll be in a big,
What you call
cozy bed soon.
Son of man's gotta pee, you know?
Have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
I'm never allowed sweet things right before bed.
This one time, we'll make an exception. As long as you stop sulking and start walking.
Resilient is generally considered better than Warcaster for maintaining concentration. This is because Resilient provides proficiency bonus in con saving throws, which is a significant bonus. Well, it's a +4, because we only get to go to level 12, and it also adds a +1 to your con score.
You see the city up on the hill.
Why is everybody saying that Warcaster is better, though? But I don't get why it would be different in D&D versus BG3.
Need to walk just
But I'll keep that in mind, Sesame. Thank you.
one foot in front of the other.
Saying that for days. My feet hurt.
Everyone deserves the chance to make some
I know.
I don't see how the math, if you have advantage, I wonder if I could test this out.
Cozy bed soon enough.
If you have advantage or
Anything you want for supper.
+5 added to your con,
Treats your tummy can handle.
what would do better in the long run, like statistically? I don't know how we would test that,
One time,
but
make an exception.
that's like, I could test it, but
And start walking right now.
all right, should we just start killing now? All right, so let's make sure I have my bind. I have my hexed weapon right now, so we're good. And we can just, I think I can just immediately jump into combat here. We have all the Hexblade stuff over here.
There now.
We have darkness, we have our Eldritch Blast. I have my temporary hit points right now from
See it.
False
It's up
Life.
there and we're down here.
I don't have on optimal armor right now. which is fine. It doesn't matter. But we could be better. And I'm using a two-handed sword right now with Great Weapon Master. So let's go to my... This is something that a lot of people don't do, which you should absolutely do. Is you should take your Great Weapon Master and put it on your main... Whoa! What's going on with my mouse? Whoa! Stop! You should put it on your main bar so you can see it and you can toggle it on and off a little bit easier. I'm going to put Repelling Blast right there too. So if we want to blast people away from us, we can turn it on. If we don't, we just turn it off. It's toggleable. And I'll leave Great Weapon Master on by default.
Never a dull moment.
And here we go. Solo Hexblade. No multi-class. Which I very well may end up multi-classing. And let's just start killing people.
Just a little more.
Oh! This is a really good way to start off a combat encounter. So a couple things happened here. Because I have my weapon binded to me, there's always a chance that Hexblade's curse will go off. I don't know what the percentage chance is, and I don't know where I can even test that. But it went off for me, so the character that I just attacked, Hexblade's curse was applied, and then with Hexblade's curse, anytime you kill an opponent that's cursed, the level 6 Hexblade feature will proc, and that's called a Cursed Spectre. Now I can spawn raising a Cursed Spectre from the soul of a fallen cursed target to fight by your side. The size of the fallen creature will determine whether you raise a feeble, spectre, mundane, or primordial spectre. Doesn't work with constructs, elemental, oozes, or plants. So we're going to go ahead and raise one, and we can raise more than one in a single fight. And let's take a look at his stats. Yeah, look at that. Interesting. So what is my character? Okay. So we have 40. All right. So just for a regular size human, we have an extra companion fighting for us with 40 HP. That's pretty good. Has dark vision, ethereal. I wish I could see in the dark. That would have been like in complete dark. That would have been nice. But this is going to be nice to have a creature that kind of pushes outside of the darkness. Let me see if I can activate some other guards. We're going to go ahead and... we got 3 right here. I'd like to fight more than 3. I think I'm going to pull these guys in. So let's move up here. There we go. All right, we're facing off against 4 flaming fists. Wish I could fight more. Oh, yeah, there we go. 5, 6. Okay. All right, so order of operations here. Number 1 with the Hexblade that I'm doing is going to be to cast Darkness. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that I need right now. I forgot about Booming Blade. We're going to be using that. So I should have used Booming Blade on that character that I attacked, and I forgot to. And I also should be raising a corpse before I get into any combat at all because I have Create Undead. But let's go ahead and drop my Darkness Spear right here, right in the middle. And I still have a bonus action. I could technically use it right now on somebody. Oh no, I lost it. We only get to use this once per short rest, though. We either have to intentionally click it on a character or hope that it lands when we make a melee attack. So if I click it, man, we have great range on this too. This is great. So I would probably use this at the start of an encounter to hopefully kill the creature and then get another Accursed Spectre fighting for me. So I would actually want to use it on the potentially the weakest and the character that I'm going to kill the quickest, or one that is big so we can get a more powerful Spectre, but it looks like all these guys are the same size. So I'm going to use it on I don't want to go after this guy. I'm going to use it on a melee character who's going to run into the darkness with me and has lower AC, so we want to use it on the guy without the shield. Perfect. All right, Hexblade's curse has been applied. The warlock who cursed this entity adds their proficiency bonus to damage rolls against them. The number they need to roll a critical hit is also reduced by 1. And we might be able to have 2 accursed specters here on the battlefield here momentarily. And I also have extra attack. Unfortunately, it can't be used with Eldritch Blast, but I can do... Oh, speak of the devil. I think I'm going to have to figure out... Because right now I have nothing... I'm in a situation right now where I am going to actually use my ranged weapon, which I didn't expect to be doing. This situation isn't going to happen too often, but I'm in a situation where I have my extra attack. Alright, so in that case, I got to think about my ability scores a little bit more. So if we're using a ranged weapon, unless I have... No, my strength is dumped right now. Alright, let me make a quick note in my notes here. Back all the way back to level 1. I mean, we already have a 14 in Dex, but 14 is going to be useful for initiative, or armor class, as we can benefit from a +2 from it, which is the max, but also ranged weapons. Hey, Fireheart. So good to know. So we're going to make a ranged attack at our guy that has the curse on him right now. And I do have advantage right now, as we're attacking from the shadows. So, actually having a decent range weapon is probably going to be quite nice. Wonder if there's a way I can have a ranged weapon that scales off of my charisma. I don't know if there's a weapon in the game that exists for that. But the crossbow is going to have to do. And I'm going to go after the guy with the curse. Critical hit. Let's go. Okay, they should all move into the... Oh my god. Oh, I thought the darkness was gone. I got really scared. Yep, charisma is my damage stat. But I have a 14 in dex, so ranged weapons aren't the worst. Just can't use Eldritch Blast for an extra attack, so I'm in a situation there where I had to use a ranged weapon, or just do nothing at all. So, definitely not going to use this. This isn't going to be an emergency spell, but I think I have to keep it to where it keeps asking me, otherwise I won't have it when I need it, so we're just going to not react. Damn! He hit me? These guys are making ranged attacks with disadvantage right now. Because I'm in the darkness, and my accursed specter is taking some of the heat off of me, which is quite nice. Now I want to kill... It would be nice to do a melee attack right now. Actually, I think I can. I can move up here, we can attack him, and then get back in the darkness. Or I could Eldritch Blast, too. Would that be enough damage? I think I have 3 rays right now. Let's see, if I go up and attack... 50% chance against this guy right now. With Great Weapon Master on. If he was in the darkness, it would go up. It would probably be like 70 or something like that. And he's not in the darkness, though. Damn, 40% sucks. And this guy's in the darkness, too. Oh, no, I don't. He's not in the darkness. See, I don't have advantage on that attack either. Okay. All right, so we're going to do... I'm just going to do Eldritch Blast. Got him. And here we go. We got some more backup on the field. Another 40 HP Spectre. Yep. It's got a +6 too. And I still have a bonus action right now. Can't use that on Hex because I'm concentrating on Darkness. So there is no use for the bonus action right now besides using like a potion or something. Which would come in handy if I was doing a solo run. But we're not worried about that right now. Definitely have like a bunch of invisibility potions. Be really nice to have a potion that bless potion that ups your attack rolls or whatever it's called. All right. I'm just going to hold my ground in the darkness. I do have this right here, but I want to make sure that he moves in, so I'm not going to use it. Nope, don't want to use counterspell. It's going to be annoying having these and having to deny them 99% of the time. It'll be interesting to see how this works. I don't know if this is going to be a good solo class or not. Maybe with a multi-class to get more spell slots. Critical miss. Yeah, the specters are super nice. Just got to make sure you focus on the character that you have Hexblade's curse on. All right, so this guy with a shield. Before he came into the darkness, I had a 40% chance of landing the attack with Great Weapon Master on. So that's that extra plus 10 damage. If I turn it off, now I have 88%. So this is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn Great Weapon Master on, and we're going to do Booming Blade because there's no reason not to do it. Maybe get Hexblade's curse. Oh shit. What the hell? How did that happen? What? What just happened? I have to rewatch that. Were my specters already in the darkness, or did they just teleport over here? Did you guys see that? I wasn't like watching close enough. Like I thought my specters were not in the darkness. And then I just used Booming Blade and they both just spawned right here. Mundane Spectre used right behind you as a reaction to Wolf's action. Doesn't even say anything about that. Holy crap. Let me go into my notes here. So level 6, we got a Cursed Spectre. It's a nice little power boost. I think it was level 6 that I got a Cursed Spectre. Spectre, and specters can use right behind you. That's incredible. It doesn't explain what it is or anything. As a reaction to Wolf's action. Is that something in D&D that I can look into? All right, next attack, here we go. Because I have extra attack because we're playing as Pact of the Blade. So I have Great Weapon toggled on. As we have a 64% chance, so I would even use it when it's 50%. But there we go, that guy's a goner. We got the extra necrotic damage from the invocation that I took. We got the plus 10 from Great Weapon Master. Beautiful. That's good stuff. I wonder if that's only for the mundane specters. Let me write that down. Only for mundane? Question mark? Probably not. As soon as it says I just looked it up, materialize next to your warlock's victim. Okay. Do some 5e research later tonight. That was unexpected though. Right behind you allows for specters within 60 feet to move into melee with the creature you just hit. It deals 1d12 plus charisma and necrotic. Okay, Richard. All right, and I still have a bonus action. I do have Great Weapon Master. Got to remember to use that when it procs for you. And the problem is, nope, he has a ranged weapon out. So what I'm going to do here is we don't want to leave the darkness. But I can go use this on him and then just simply walk back in. Because this character has a ranged weapon out and we won't take an opportunity attack. So look at that. It's a free attack right there. And then I can simply just walk right back into the darkness, no problem. Okay, Warcaster's doing me well so far. I might even consider... I don't know, I gotta think about that. Doing a lot of con saving throws, and I'm succeeding on every single one, but if I even fail on one of them... like that... this might not be the greatest solo thing. Maybe it will be really good. I think I'm going to do a duo run for patch 8. And we're going to do the Shadow Sork and this guy. Because solo, you're just taking so many hits. Even with Warcaster or Resilient, like you're going to fail one of those con saves at some point, and then Darkness is gone, and I'm already limited with spell slots. Let's go ahead and cast Darkness again. So there's definitely some problems with the build too. Not that these are problems. These are ways to keep classes balanced, I guess you could say. But when I'm thinking of like doing a solo run, it could be a potential problem to think about. I'm currently ensnared right now, so we're just going to go ahead and I would probably just take a potion at this point. This guy's running out. I think it's gonna be really fun to have the Shadow Sork and the Hexblade. And this is also where I would think about if I was gonna do a solo build. This is like a potential problem, but this would start making me think, what don't I need at level, you know, 10, 11, and 12 that I could multi-class into another class to get more spell slots, for example. Need level 2 spell slots for Darkness. Maybe does Paladin get advantage on Constitution? Is Paladin proficient in Constitution saving throws? Start thinking about stuff like that, and actually I'm going to write that down. Something I got to think about later. So... Darkness will be tested quite a lot. Consider... Zircon, thanks for the raid. Consider multi-classing for more spell slots for Darkness. Or perhaps getting benefits to Con. If that's even a thing. But damn, you can't, this like Resilient or Warcaster, as you guys can, this, if you're playing like solo or something, that's an absolute must have for this if you want to use Darkness. Because I got hit so many times. Doing pretty good, Zircon. How about yourself? What game were you playing over there? You can easily walk into hell and grab the Con amulet. Oh yeah, you know, I gotta write down, consider certain gear items too. That's something that I'm actually... I'd have to do some research on that stuff, because gear has never been something that I really put into a lot of my builds, even though I know it can be really important in this game. So consider certain items, as well as certain potions, too. Persona 5? Nice. Popular franchise. I never played it, though. Dork and Hex? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Trying to think though, if I'm playing a melee with Great Weapon Master, does Sork benefit me more than like a Paladin or something? I don't know. I mean, Paladin's not going to get you a lot of spell slots, but... Don't have to fight Raphael. Okay, cool. Good to know. Alright, let's continue on. I can actually use False Life again, and I'm in a situation right now where... Yeah, I could take a shot, but... This is when we're going to be using Eldritch Blast, of course. We don't have Hexblade's Curse anymore. Can't use Booming Blade in the darkness. Or I can, but nobody's around me right now. I have the other spell slots here, but it's just too risky to spend these spell slots if I lose darkness. So we're going to go with Eldritch Blast. We're just going to attack this guy. Oh no, the first one's going to push him out of range, or is it not? Is that not how it works? Nice. Okay, he's got 29 HP. So we are good. I am still... Nope, we're not. Okay, it's not my turn. Yeah, I'll look into the multi-class with the Sork. I know it's good. Obviously, like, all the charisma classes are good multi-class options. The Paladin can be nice because you get the Divine Smites, doing a lot of damage. Paladin's a nice start, too. But if I did a multi-class, it would be... I would start off with Hexblade. 6 levels in Hexblade. Even if it's not optimal. Because the point of playing the new subclasses isn't to wait to play them until level 12, you know? I want to play them right off the beginning. Let's go... We're just going to do a regular attack here. I have 40% because this guy's apparently not in the darkness. Very close. That kind of sucks. That really sucks. So I guess I'm just gonna do Booming Blade. We're gonna turn Great Weapon Master off. Look at that. That's awesome. And then I got my extra attack. I could actually back up and do a ranged attack. We'll just do another regular attack. And I missed. I'm gonna go ahead. I could have turned off Repelling Blast on that last attack. We'll back up a little bit, try to make him come inside the darkness. So far, this build it's working out pretty good. It's fun. It's definitely fun. I just don't know if I'd want to solo with it. Might be more fun to have in a party. A party of shadow-based characters like Shadow Sorcerer, Gloomstalker, Shadow Monk. Alright, Armor of Hexes. I think this was a level 11 feature that I skimmed over. When a creature you cursed with Hexblade's Curse attacks you, potentially nullify the attack. That's really good. That's something to consider too, like if you're multi-classing, you might not get Armor of Hexes. I don't know how good it is, but... Let's say, I think that was a level 11. Armor of Hexes. Creature you cursed with Hex attacks you. Is it a 50% chance? Yep, you have a 50% to nullify attack. It's just a reaction. And it worked too. My solo run, I got good AC, don't need to make as many saves if they don't hit. Very true. I could have better AC right now, too.
At the ready.
Oh, no, shit! Get back in... What are you doing, dude? Get back in the darkness. So while we're waiting for people to come into the darkness, this guy has Hexblade's curse, so I want to kill him first. So we're gonna do Eldritch Blast. We're gonna turn off Repelling Blast and just get rid of this guy. I'm getting 5 to 14 damage. He has 17. I'm not gonna chance it. I think 2 will kill him actually. No Accursed Spectre? He was cursed. Hold on, maybe it comes next round? Whoa, something's going on here. Thought that would be an Accursed Spectre right there. Did that break? I think that's a bug. He's like not in combat right now and the Hexblade's curse is going away. Unless there's a limit to how many Accursed Spectres I can have in a single round, but I don't think there is. The hat from Sorcerer's Sundries boosts charisma. Duke Ravengard's longsword. Ooh, that's actually good to note down. Thanks for letting me know. Let me write those down real fast. Hold on. Items. What was the item that you were talking about, Zyfiel? It's the... Let me know what it's called if you're still here. So the hat from Sundries. Sundries is charisma. And Duke Ravengard's longsword. I can't remember the other stats on that. I'm not sure if it's something I'd want to use. It does get you to 22 though, and that's very beneficial. Boost to 22 charisma. Very cool. Yep, you get heavy armor if you multi-class into Pally. Yeah, Hexadin is very, very appealing, for sure. I know it's a popular 5e multi-class too, so I'll definitely be checking that out at some point. Is this guy not in the darkness? Feels like a lot of these characters just won't come into the darkness with me. But let's go ahead and... Nobody's cursed right now. 75 or 50. I'm going to do the 50% chance. We're going to do Booming Blade. We'll do it again. Hope you can only use Booming Blade on the first one. Nice. Really good damage. And then I do have a bonus action. Not going to be taking an opportunity attack though, so let's just go ahead and back up. Back into the darkness. It'd actually be really cool to... If you're going to play Hexblade with darkness, to drop your darkness in like an area of the battlefield where you can maneuver around like different poles and wagons like this to try to avoid enemies targeting you. By the way, the music playing in the background is not Baldur's Gate 3 music. Some of you guys are probably wondering. Amulet of Greater Health. Okay, thank you. Amulet of Greater Health. So we're looking for higher AC too, so I gotta find a way to do that. Okay, alright. Thanks, I feel. Helm of Acuity to make Booming Blade hit more often. I think there's going to be way better options, to be honest with you. Then again, that's something to consider at lower levels. Let me write it down. Depending on what you have in your inventory. I lost my YouTube chat. There it is. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and there's only There's 3 guys left still. I just want to stay in the darkness as much as I can so they have disadvantage on their attacks. And in this case, imagine if I had Sharpshooter and Great Weapon Master. In this case, I'm going to be using most likely Eldritch Blast, and we're just going to blast this guy, but not actually use Repelling Blast. We don't want her going any further away from the darkness. Dead. There's a lot of damage right there. And then I'm just going to wait it out. This guy's going to have to maneuver around to try to get a shot off on my character, so let's move up here. Yeah, I need a higher AC for sure. You could go sword and board for this, of course, and it would be perfectly viable. But if I'm thinking of like a cool Hexblade build, I don't think I want to use a sword and a board, right? Okay, ensnared once again. I do have 1 spell slot left, but I mean, at this point, there's only 2 opponents left, so I could start not caring about the darkness as much. And I could use something more powerful. Which actually might not be a bad idea, because then I could take a short rest after this. I could kill this guy in one attack, probably. This might be the time for... Actually, maybe this is the time where you start pulling off, like, Banishing Smite or something, when there's only 2 opponents left. You don't need the darkness really anymore. Might be something to consider. I'm immobile right now, so we're just going to go ahead and do Eldritch. This guy's almost dead, but I can't move. I missed all of them. You got to be kidding me. Okay, not ensnared anymore, but we're facing off against range opponents. Just do this. Can probably kill this guy, actually, if we move right over. Nope, I'm still ensnared. Come on. Not on my watch. Alright, there we go. This guy has 46 left. This guy has 28, so I want to try to kill him. Path interrupted. I wonder about... right here. Oh my god. Damn. I'm gonna look into pole arms, maybe not tonight, but I'm gonna look into pole arms after this, because I know it can be a great weapon. And yeah, maybe you don't need the feet. Problem is, if I do need the feet, it's just like, if I'm using a two-handed weapon, I want Great Weapon Master over any other feat in the game, and then you don't have room for any other feats. Oh no, what happened to the darkness? Did it go away? I didn't notice why I lost it. Okay, now we gotta get up close and personal. Start kicking some ass. Here we go. I'm not going to cast Darkness with my spell slot. We're just going to kill this guy. So we'll turn Great Weapon Master off. Actually, I'm going to do a Pommel Strike. That takes care of that guy. And then we can go up here and I can do a ranged attack, or we could throw a weapon, but I don't have good strength. So let's just do a regular attack. Oh no! Hopefully he doesn't do a crit hit on me. Oh, you know what's cool? Because I think I got some health back right there. I did. I forgot about that. Was that because... Hold on. Was that because of the character being cursed? Let me go back to my notes here. I forgot about that. If the target dies, you regain Warlock level plus Charisma modifier hit points. Once per short rest. Oh, no, no. That's using the Hexblade's curse once per short rest, but I can get it to proc on my weapon attacks at any time. That's really good. I got a lot of hit points back right there. I wonder why I'm not spawning specters anymore. Oh, come on. I was just teasing you right there. You're not dead yet? Really, buddy? Okay. We survived.
Better than nothing.
Then I get a short rest and we're good to go. We got everything back. That's the beautiful thing about the Warlock is I got everything except... Is there anything I didn't get back? I thought there was something that recharges on a long rest. Let's go ahead and... Now I'm going to do False Life again, of course. And I would probably create Undead. Oh no. Target can't be reanimated. And this would be a big help. No! Raise a corpse as a mummy that fights by your side. Target must be a medium or small corpse. These are medium. And this is actually pretty powerful. I mean, Mummy has 93 hit points. This is a really good summon right here. And I like the combination of playing a Dark Hexblade and also having this, plus the Accursed Specters. So a big power boost for me in that fight would have been if I raised a zombie beforehand, before going into the fight.
That's why we need to walk just a little more.
And my weapon is still hexed right now. We have everything back. We don't have to do a long rest. Let's go ahead and just do another group of people. Now that I'm getting more familiar with how everything works here. And we won our 1v, what was it, 7 or something? They're only level 8,
Something's
but
on my mind.
it doesn't feel as powerful as... I feel like it's not going to be the best solo class going all out in Hexblade, but that's okay because it's really fun and it's cool. And like I said, I think if I combo it with a Shadow Sorcerer, I could have like some really fun situations. Alright, you guys ready for this? Oh no.
You were witnessed assaulting someone.
Should have turned off Great Weapon Master. We need more people than that. Maybe I should go to the city actually. I could just kill this guy super fast. Great Weapon Master on 40%. See, that's pretty bad. If we're in the darkness, it would have gone up. I don't have spell action right now though. I'm gonna try it. 2 attacks with 40%. I got it. Then we have the mummy, which I can actually control. I like to create undead as part of this build. I like that a lot. There goes my false life. It's cool though. So look, I just took damage, and because of that invocation that I took, I'm almost still at full HP because it was all my temp HP that was taken, and I can also activate false life again. I probably wouldn't want to do it in combat because that's wasting an action when I could deal damage, but all right, let's go to, we're gonna go, I'm tempted to make a Shadow Sork right now, but I don't feel like creating one. I don't feel like going through what we just did with the Hexblade. Go fight the guild people. I wonder if Blade Singer and Hexblade would be an alright multi-class. The Spectres are a feature in D&D, Jester. It's not just a BG3 thing. It's a Hexblade feature in D&D. Alright, I have my whole party, but we don't need my whole party. Let's go solo again. Just me and my mummy. I certainly don't look like a Hexblade right now, do I?
Never wanted the easy path.
I'm gonna send all these guys to... They can go there. Get away from me. Oh, you know what? Let me stop at Sorcerer's Sundries real fast. Man, I miss this game.
Mind my step.
What am I supposed to do then?
Isn't it so sad that we can never relive our first time playthrough ever again? I remember when I first arrived at Rivington. It was glorious, but also extremely stressful. Because there was just so much to do. Just have major choice paralysis.
You,
Uh-oh.
the god's damned. Lady Mazora told me
Uh-oh.
how he
I don't remember what I did in
First
this run.
You, then I finished the Duke's traitorous son.
Cool thing about the Hexblade Warlock is our charisma is super high, so...
I believe what he knew, and he knew that to protect the follow its path to the worm. Free.
Oh, that's cool. She just told me about the dragon under the city. I didn't realize there was a way to get an NPC to tell you about that. Oh, crap. I'm not allowed in here. I'm not allowed in here because I've done bad things here in the past on this run. Shit. Well, the cool thing about this guy is I do have minor illusion. I don't think it's going to be enough to... Can't cast it behind this guy. I distracted everybody but the robot. Look at my inventory actually being organized. Wow, I have like nothing on these characters.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Good darkness.
Salutations. Onward.
Look, Mama, look. It's so pretty.
On my way.
I'm sorry, but you have been banned from these premises due to habitual violence. I am not alone.
Okay, well, here goes our battle. I came in here trying to see what items they had for sale. Oh, what did I do to this place on this character back in the day? Oh no, it's not what I wanted to do. Let's see how good solo works in this room. Oh my god. Alright, so if I'm going to place a darkness down, and high ground would be nice. This is probably going to be a TPK, but this will be good. This will be good practice on the skills, and it'll be nice to see how some of these work, because apparently there's some things that just pop up that they don't tell you much about, like the accursed specters spawning near my character. Where's my zombie? My zombie's in the fight too, and I don't want any of my companions in the fight, just me. Just me, myself, and I. So let's go ahead and start off with... We're fighting his projection too. Could have a choke point. I mean, there's really no point. We got this guy down here. I think I'll go to the staircase. I want to make sure I have a sight on everybody though too. I'm gonna go to right here.
Have to keep going.
And we're gonna start off with darkness. Try to get it to where I can actually utilize it. Behind that counter is not gonna do me any good. And here we go. I wonder, you can't use, so Hexblade's curse, does it not work? I don't know if it works on these guys. It does work, but I don't know if an accursed specter is going to spawn or not. Well, and now would be the time to test it, right? Oh, wow. I don't have any movement left. We do it on the Roakin's projection. Are we even facing off against him? No, he's not fighting us. I don't think he is. Nope. We are facing the lava elemental though. That's going to be bad. And these guys up here. I wonder if I can get it on the zombie. That'd be an easy way to quickly spawn a specter in to help me out. Or I could do it on a civilian and just kill them quickly. I feel like I want to do it on that guy, but I'm gonna try it on the zombie just out of curiosity. No! Shit. Well, guess we're doing it on the civilian. All right. Here we go. Yeah, I could use the mask. I just wanted to show you guys a funny way to get in by just, you can almost always have your companions talk to them and make them face the other way. So many different ways to do things in this game. It's crazy. What's up, 100-year sauce? What's your 100-year sauce? Can we buy it? Yeah, no drop date yet, Ryan. But somebody was saying in chat that Larian was shooting for an April release. I don't remember hearing that, but... Wow, we're facing off elementals and everything. I don't know if I'd want the zombie in the darkness, because I think the zombie's going to have disadvantage on attacks. I should do a stream like every night where we do like 2 subclasses a night and just play them solo. And really get like a much deeper understanding of how all of them work. Because we can read about the skills all day, but until you actually do it over and over, especially solo where you're constantly using the skills and abilities. Nobody came to me right now? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, I'm gonna try to kill... Where'd the Hexblade's curse go? No! It's not on this character anymore. I wonder why. This guy's coming down. See, I can't do anything because I don't want to leave the darkness. I don't know if I would get an opportunity attack on this guy. Or if he would get one on me. Let's see. If I go up here, 18 feet of movement, I can move back in. Alright, I'm gonna do it.
You've made a grave mistake.
Booming Blade worked. It's actually really good. 3 to 24 damage when it moves. But I think I'm just gonna kill him outright right now. We'll do 9 to 22. A Great Weapon Master would be the kill. And here we go. I got my first Accursed Spectre. So I must have popped off. So that attack right there must have given this guy Hexblade's curse. I don't know if it tells you that. Right? Because I think the Accursed Spectre is... Yeah. This, raise an Accursed Spectre from the soul of a fallen cursed target. I wonder what cursed means. If it needs to be Hexblade's curse. or if it can be like a different curse. I don't know. Perfect. And now we're gonna go, oh, I have a bonus action, Great Weapon Master Attack 2, but I don't have enough movement right now to really utilize it. I do, but I would be actually, no, it's not a bad idea right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use it. 40% chance on this guy. Oh god, I should have just left it on. Got my zombie holding off these guys right now so I can take care of the guys up top. We got Shocking Grasp from Warcaster. I mean, technically I'm probably, I guess that's kind of pointless because I'm pretty much always going to use Opportunity Attack. Unless the character is vulnerable to lightning damage. Man, that was some good. That was some good damage. And then the Spectre spawned right there and dealt some more damage. He was not the one you cursed. He's not the one I cursed with the curse, but the curse can proc when I'm using my melee weapon. So I was wondering if my second hit right there gave him the curse, but he died instantly and then the accursed specter spawned. He's not the one I used the curse action on, but the curse always has a chance of proccing. It's a passive thing. I don't know if I can see that in the I don't know where I can see that. Or maybe it's just like you're saying, maybe it's just we don't know how it works. Damn, let's go. This mummy's holding his own. I think I have the helmet. I think it's in my camp kimono. It must be. Because it came with the deluxe edition. It's weird not having the BG3 music when you're fighting. Alright, did my mummy die? My mummy died, but he gave me good time. And now I have to get back into my darkness, like, immediately. So I think what I'm going to do here... I do have enough movement speed. I could Misty Step down there, but that would be using a spell slot. I think what I'm going to do is... we're going to use maybe Eldritch Blast and Repelling Blast on this guy to move him so I don't take the opportunity attack. So let's turn on Repelling Blast. We're going to do 1 on this guy. Only 30%. Whoa. Oh yeah, because I'm disadvantaged right now. Honestly, I might just put this guy down. 40%. Let's see. Booming Blade. Good damage. Okay, and we're going to do another one. Perfect. I don't even have to do anything crazy. And then I'm going to simply just walk down into the darkness. And that's how we play Hexblade. Got my Cursed Spectre cleaning up the battlefield. Very, very useful. I still don't think I'm going to survive this fight, but... I never tried that level 20 mod, Ipsa. I gotta try it sometime. How did they put the zombie to sleep? Did a zombie go to sleep? I think my zombie got killed. I don't think it's sleeping. Alright. Definitely don't want to move out of the darkness. This guy has magmatic regeneration. I forgot about that crap. Problem is, if I go to right here, I'm still in darkness. He's not, though, and I want him to come into the darkness. So, what we can do here, I have my Accursed Spectre up here. I can't cast the curse anymore. Gotta be a little bit more careful about who I actually intentionally use the bonus action Hexblade's Curse. It's actually not a bad time for considering using another spell slot too. I have Cone of Cold right here. And actually, I think I'm going to. We're going to stay in the darkness. I'm going to move over here. And this is when situationally it might be a good idea to pop this. Doesn't require concentration, so it's not going to kill my darkness. Deals a shit ton of damage, and I'm going to get 3 targets in it at once. So let's do that. Almost one-shot that guy. Man, that's so much damage. That's crazy. I still have a bonus action. But we're going to go ahead and just get a little bit deeper into the darkness. Could have used that, but that's okay. Nice. The Accursed Spectre just pulled this guy into the darkness? How did that work? They threw a potion to put the zombie to sleep, and then the next attack... Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. If you use a level 20 mod wolf, you'll want to go 12-8 for your multi-class distribution. Okay, thank you. Oh no, yep, see, we're good. Warcaster's working. Do an opportunity attack. I don't have Great Weapon Master on though. This guy's almost dead. We're kicking ass right now. We are kicking ass. 95% chance. I don't think I need Great Weapon Master. Do I? Let's do it. Stay in the darkness. Just need 1 attack to land. Well, that sucks. Almost got him with the bonus action. That's crazy. So, Great Weapon Master, I was telling you guys earlier how it's one of the best feats in the game. It also works with your bonus action, your weapon attacks. So I got an extra 10 damage added onto that. Onto that little flimsy, wimpy pommel strike. And the Accursed Spectre might be able to actually kill. Nope, maybe not. So the first fight, I felt like the Hexblade was really powerful, but I didn't think it was nearly as powerful as I'm feeling right now. Now I'm feeling really good. This fight should be way hard. I mean, these guys are lower level though too, but still, there's a lot of high HP opponents in this fight. Oh shit, he got most of his HP back. Alright, here we go. Let's kill him. Yeah. Water Elemental, is that a summon? No, it's not a summon. Mummy Lot, Mummy Rot, Temporary. Oh yeah, look at this. So the animated armor right here from my mummy. Your max hit points are reduced by 8. You cannot be healed. He's cursed. I guess we're going to work on the Water Elemental now, because the Water Elemental is in the darkness. We have a 60% chance with advantage with Great Weapon Master toggled on. Good stuff. And we'll just end it right there. The Accursed Spectre is immobile right now for some reason. Screech. Do another blade. Damn, dude, that's just good damage, man. And we'll do another one. With that Great Weapon Master, that's pretty good. And now we get to take advantage of Armor of Hexes. When a creature cursed with Hexblade's Curse attacks you, potentially nullify the attack. 50% chance of it happening. And it didn't happen. So the water elemental has Hexblade's curse, but I don't think the water elemental can become an accursed specter. I think it has to be, can't be a construct. I don't know if elemental is one of them. I think so. All right, let's go ahead and do, we're just going to do a regular attack. We don't need Great Weapon Master. And there we go. No accursed specter. And then I'm going to come all the way over here in the darkness. And we can do Booming Blade. We can turn on Great Weapon Master. We have an extra bonus attack from Great Weapon Master. This guy only has 1 HP. What the hell am I doing right now? He's a goner. And then I don't have enough movement speed to get to him, unfortunately. So how do I not have enough movement speed? Oh, I do. Should I leave the darkness? Should I leave the safety of the darkness? Yes. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Great Weapon Master on, using the bonus attack. One shot. What do you guys think? Got him. Got him. So this isn't like an ideal fight for the Hexblade with the Accursed Spectre just because there's not as many humanoids that are fighting me. There's only one person left. This fight actually turned out really good. I have full HP right now, too. Because I keep getting healed when I'm killing cursed targets. Another feature of the Hexblade. Healed myself for 1. Healed for 5. Healed for 16. This is all happening passively. I don't think she's even fighting me. Didn't lose my concentration on darkness. I gotta drink water. The hell am I thinking? Where did this person go? All the way over here. Is she running from me? She's scared of the Hexblade? I don't blame her. I do have Misty Step. This might be the time. Where's she at? Where's she at? You can't escape the Hexblade. Cannot escape me. Yes, 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 yes. It's a lot of damage. Think we can take her out without Great Weapon Master. Goodbye. Success. I'm happy I did 2 encounters.
How much farther can I go?
It's because this encounter really showed like the power behind the subclass. Alright, let's kill some civilians now. I still don't think I could do this. I don't think this would be a solo viable class for me on honor mode. Like, I'm sure like Morgana or Luality, they could probably do it, but I haven't completed the game on solo honor mode yet. The furthest I made it was basically the start of Act 2. 2 attempts, died in the Githyanki place. 1 from a trap. I can't remember how I died the first time. But I think I would enjoy this if I played with the Shadow Sorcerer at my side. Where the hell is... Everybody ran from me? Can I get access to the shop now, or what? What's up? Nobody wants me? And there's my conjured cat. That's funny. I didn't realize they just run around like that. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And I'm happy I took my time with the Hexblade, so we could learn some of that. I would technically have to... Oh, I have a short... What the hell? How do I have another short rest? The robot's still talking to Gale. Meanwhile, I slaughtered everybody inside. Now we have everything back.
You murdered someone in view of a guard.
Yeah, I'm a pure warlock right now. Yep. All right, let's see how good it works against the Steel Watch. Oh no, I don't have an action. This could be bad. This could be real Real bad. Wonder if Staggering Smite would be good right here. But I would lose it when I cast Darkness next turn, so... Hexblade's Curse isn't going to give us an Accursed Spectre. So let's cast Hexblade's Curse on... Who's going to be the easiest to kill? 65, 64. The guy without the shield would be, but I don't know where he's going right now. Wonder if I should run from this guy. Without Darkness right now, he could one-shot me. This actually might be a time for Misty Step. I could Misty Step, let's see. I don't want to go up top right now, because then they can't get to me. Wonder how much movement this guy has. Let me Misty Step to all the way. Oh god, we're going to activate so many guards, and I'm all for it. We're going to run all the way to... Oh no, it's an opportunity attack. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Alright, we can just disengage. No, I can't. Never mind. We're not playing a rogue. Do 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 do. All right. Yeah, we're gonna go to right here, and then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna activate all of them, which is fine. But I want to get a little bit. Oh, I didn't think. You know why? This guy has a spear. So I can't actually sneak through here. I wanted to get really far away from the steel watch. This could be bad. This could be a bad start to this round right here. This could be really bad. And I'm all for it. I have all my party members right. Why isn't Gal in this fight? He's like right next to us right now. What is he doing? He's just standing there. That's okay. All right. Let's see if I can survive this round. I just got to get my darkness down. This would, if this was solo honor mode, this is definitely something where I run from and reset. Gal is flirting with the armor. I just have to survive this one round. Oh, there's 2 steel watch. Holy crap, I'm dead. Wow. I also didn't use create undead. I should have before we came into this. This might actually be a time. No. I'm not gonna use it. Oh god. Oh god. I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead. Come on, Wolf. Survive, baby. Oh shit, I'm one shot. Oh man. Ah. I died. I got 1 HP. Oh, you know what happened? One of the Hexblade's features is that you don't actually die. It's the same as the half orc racial feature. You don't actually die. You get 1 HP, and I think it resurrected me, and then they sent me to prison. I have no health potions or anything. That's funny. So yeah, that was a bad starting situation for the Hexblade right there. But with that said, if I was playing solo and we actually cared, I would have absolutely popped an invisibility potion or just Misty stepped out of there and then came back in. Because not being able to cast darkness right away at the start on solo against like 8 enemies, that's pretty much death for the Hexblade. Especially at my AC, I only have 17 right now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a fun session. Got some good notes. Those of you guys that missed the beginning of the stream, we tested out the Drunken Master and the. My brain's not working. What was the other one? The Drunken Master and the Glamour Bard. Glamour Bard was kind of boring. There wasn't really too much to it. Not bad class, but not like a lot of fun. And the Drunken Master was kind of fun. Didn't seem like it was going to be the most powerful ever, but fun and thematic. And the rest of the stream was all the Hexblade here as we just figure out these abilities and everything. And I think I have a much better understanding of the class now. I can start potentially thinking about some multi-classes. And also some better gear and stuff like that. Because I think I'm committed to Hexblade, Shadow Sorcerer, Duo Honor Mode run when patch 8 releases. Maybe Trio Honor Mode run. Maybe trio, and then I'll bring in another like shadow type caster or something. Shadow Sork, Hexblade. What else would be good in the darkness? Gloomstalker? I don't know. I don't know. If I do duo, then I know we can... It'll be a really challenging run for me too, so that would be fun. Death Cleric. I forgot about the Death Cleric. I love the Death Cleric. Alright. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks for lurking, Anonymous. And we shall continue this. Today is Tuesday, so I'll see you guys at the latest on Thursday. Is today Tuesday? Yeah, I'll see you guys at the latest on Thursday. What do we have coming up? Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is dropping hardcore mode sometime next week, it was announced, so I do plan on starting a stream for that. And Baldur's Gate Patch 8, I'm assuming, will drop sometime this month. And then we also have Claire Obscure on the 24th of April. And I have a review code for that right now, so I'm going to be playing it quite a lot and getting some videos ready and stuff, and then I'll probably do like a couple streams when it launches too. I don't know if it's going to be a game that I'll enjoy playing through twice or not, which I will be playing through it once offline, so I'm not sure how the streams are going to be for that, but maybe I'll play through it twice. We'll see. We'll see how good it is. All right. Goodbye. Yeah, I could do a party of 4 and just do like a dark theme, and I think it would be fun, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do a party of 4 or not. I don't know if I'm ready to go through the entire game without... Like, when I play solo, it's really fun because I'm doing something I haven't done before, and I'm trying to accomplish something. I don't know how fun it would be, or how long I would last with a party of 4 without the challenge. Considering how much we've all played this game, and I've already been through all the cutscenes and everything. I'm planning on like talking to all the characters and doing all the quests. But as I start up my next run, you know, that might change as I start playing. I might start getting bored. Alright, I got it, Zyfiel, thanks. I'll definitely take a look at all this when I start preparing some actual guides here. Blade Singer. Nice. Cool, cool. Thanks. Anonymous, thank you for the €10 super chat to end the night. Anonymous is invited to the after show. No one else is. And the after show will be held on onlyfans.com/wolfheart. I'll see you guys there in 5 minutes. Let me turn on the hot tub. Yeah, I'm sure a duo would definitely be challenging for me, for sure. The only reason why I didn't want to do duo before was because like I wanted to do the ultimate challenge. I didn't want to have to do a whole run with 2 and then beat the game and then have to do the entire thing again on solo. That's why I did solo before. But with the new patch, I don't think I want to do solo because then I don't get to, you know, we don't get 2 new subclasses. I want to use more than one subclass. So I don't want to do solo, but I don't want to do a party of 4 either. So got to find a happy balance to where I can actually enjoy the new content and also challenge myself. Hell yeah, Sesame. Hell yeah. We don't have a release date for patch 8 just yet, Haven King. 2 Hex, 5 Paladin, 5 Shadow Sork. Interesting. It's funny listening to, I listen to a lot of D&D 5th edition content creators, especially in the build-up to Baldur's Gate 3, but I still do these days a lot. And it's funny listening to them talk about builds. Because a lot of the time, the information does apply, but many times it doesn't too. Because a lot of people build for 20 levels in D&D, versus 12 that we have in BG3. Not to mention, BG3 doesn't have all the spells or the cantrips. BG3 doesn't utilize like most, I don't think hardly anything in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And just Larian's homebrew rules really do make a difference for some of these builds. See ya, Twitch. Thanks, Alex. What's up, Sky? My bad, I missed your comment. Shadow Monk? Hell yeah. Thanks, Nasuna. Let's see how many people we got on Twitch. Twitchers, if you guys want to watch Slandered, I don't think I know anybody else besides famous people on Twitch right now. If you guys want me to rage you up, you guys can go. Slandered's playing South of Midnight right now. I could send you guys over there. Sure, we'll do that. Why not? Raid Slandered Gaming. So I'm gonna send you guys over there, okay? That's South of Midnight just released, so it's also a new game, so you guys can check it out. I don't think I'm gonna be playing it myself because I'm not usually interested in a lot of action adventure games. Sometimes I am. That one's not really pulling me in, but you can check it out on Slandered's channel. If this works. Raid up! And I'll catch you guys on Thursday, maybe tomorrow night, we'll see. See ya, Midori.